Before DC Comics and Marvel, there was King Features. Before Superman and Captain America, there was Secret Agent X9, a comic strip syndicated in newspapers by King Features beginning in 1934. It was created by hard-boiled detective writer Dashiell Hammett and artist Alex Raymond, the hand behind Jungle Jim and Flash Gordon. The premise was simple: a nameless agent working for a nameless agency. The missions and villains would change with the times during its 62 years in publication. In 1937, it was adapted by Universal Pictures for a 12-chapter cliffhanger starring Scott Kolk. By the mid-1940s, Universal had serialized more comic strip characters than its rivals Columbia and Republic combined. Its last would be a second version of Secret Agent X9, which brings us to today's cliffhanger serial marathon. At the onset of World War II, on the only neutral island in the Pacific, X9 teams with Chinese and Australian agents to stop the Axis powers from possessing the formula to create synthetic fuel, codenamed 722.
On this glorious day, the first anniversary of Pearl Harbor, Japan must remember that victory depends more than winning or losing battles. Science and industry are equally as important as the Imperial Army and Navy. Our scientists in their laboratories must develop better weapons. Our industrialists must improve the manufacturing process. Our workers must...
Excuses. We don't want any excuses. We want results. You have not been able to make synthetic fuel from plants, as you promised.
The fact remains, Hakahima. Your experiment is a failure.
Calamity! You are surprising us, Hakahima. Are you successful after all?
No, Major Saki. As I told you before, the fluid I developed wouldn't run the engine. But it wasn't this pail. But Tichi, I emptied the pail of synthetic while you were out. But there was fluid of the same color in the pail when I came back. And I put it in the empty tank.
If your synthetic was not in that pail, what was in it?
As far as I know, distilled water.
Distilled water?
Yes, I filled the pail with it after pouring the experimental fluid down the drain. It's out of fuel.
What is it?
It evidently fell from the samples on the workbench shelf, hit the edge of the pail, broke, and dissolved in the water.
It doesn't answer my question. What is it?
722.
It doesn't mean a thing.
This vial contained a sample of one of Dr. Albert Raymond's experiments.
Dr. Raymond is a professor in chemistry at Lanfield University, an authority on explosives.
I was one of Professor Raymond's assistants.
Has anyone except us the faintest idea that 722 has the properties of a high-test fuel?
No one, not even Raymond. He had the formula filed in his office merely as the record of an unsuccessful experimental explosive.
Have you a copy of the formula?
Yes, in my notebooks, but they are still hidden in America.
Japan must have 722. Chemical warfare bows the military intelligence.
Military Intelligence Headquarters Section at once. this Major Saki. We must send someone into the United States who cannot be suspected of working for Japan. Encode the message I give you and radio to Nabora on Shadow Island.
I was wondering, Nabora, when you'd be showing up.
It is safer, Marker, to ask me what you want to know about me than to try to find out for yourself.
I take my orders from Lucky Camber. Try scaring him.
Scare, Marker? No. But as a friend, I think I should warn him. Is Lucky in?
Yeah, and wants to see you.
Good evening, Miss Moore.
Oh, hello, Nabora.
In 1 hour, please.
1 hour? Very well.
I hope your luck has changed, Mr. Dorgan.
It has. For the worst.
Arfan?
Nabora?
What did Nabora tell us?
To watch Terry Haney,
Yeah, he's a secret agent, all right.
United States.
I don't care what you say, Nabora. I still don't like it. My grandfather bought Shadow Island from Japan. I own it, and I'm boss.
And hasn't Japan guaranteed your neutrality ever since, Mr. Kemba?
Why? Because my island was of no value to Japan in peace? While now...
And now, some such neutral crossroads for spies is just as necessary to us as it is to our enemies.
I don't care about spies. They won't always be customers. While wanted men, that's another matter.
Ah, so. Your precious criminals who can stay, paying you head tax, of course, because you have no extradition laws.
This island isn't a nation. It doesn't pretend to be. It's a business. And now you're starting to cut into my profits, and that's what I don't like.
Everyone must sacrifice in times of war. Japan has use for men like Drag Dorgan.
I owe you 500 on 2 to win.
Sorry, Mr. Dorgan. Cannot accept IOU.
Well, my credit's always been okay before.
Solo is manager here for Mr. Camber. You see him.
Hello, Drag.
Listen, Solo,
The answer is no. Pay your head tax and you can have credit. Not until. You know Lucky's rules, Drag. Either buy protection or leave the island.
I know, but I've been paying now for
Yes, and you go on paying if you plan on staying. You're making a mistake, Drag, pulling that gun.
Haney followed you when you went in to see Camber.
So. Mr. Haney is too curious.
I have a message for you, Mr. Haney.
Tell Nabora some other time.
Now!
All right, break it up. Come on, break it up.
He didn't have a chance, Arfan.
Who does? With Nabora.
And now, Mr. Dorgan, I suggest that you come with me.
With you? So that's the way it is. Sure, Nabora. Sure.
Good evening, Captain Groot.
I see you have been able to persuade her, Dorgan.
Yeah, I can take a hint. First she breaks me, then she has her boys knock off Terry Haney. What's that?
We are sending you back to the United States.
Oh, no, you're not.
It's dangerous for you there,
Yeah, among other places. It's too hot to make it worth my while.
In that case, could you recommend a friend who would like to come to Shadow Island?
What's in it for him? And me?
No taxes to pay to Lucky?
Dollars enough to satisfy even you, Mr. Dorgan.
Well, I'm listening.
And so, in conclusion, let me reassure you, fellow Australians, I was born down under. That is why I am called Miss Australia. And that is why I tell you nothing but the truth on these broadcasts. Tomorrow night I will have some recordings of Aussie prisoners for you. Until then, remember, England is your true enemy. Japan is your true friend.
You know, that girl's doing a wonderful job.
Unbelievable if it wasn't fact, satisfying the NIPS and Australian intelligence all in the same broadcast.
You have orders to surface for me tomorrow night at the usual time?
Yes, Miss Moore.
Good night.
That's the code.
Good evening, Australia. From Miss Australia. I was born down under. That is why I am called Miss Australia. And that is why I tell you nothing but the truth on these broadcasts.
Yes? Of course. Naturally, I'm just as disappointed as you are. Thanks for keeping me informed, Stuart. I appreciate it. Bad news, Wiley.
About the Shadow Island case? I was talking to Stuart earlier today.
Yes, I know. He told you Phil Corrigan was still trailing Drag Doggin's friend, Jack Roberts.
Frankly, with X9 on the assignment, I didn't think Roberts had a chance.
It looked that way for a week or so. Considering Phil only had the name of a man with no criminal record, he did a remarkable piece of work getting a line on the right Jack Roberts.
I suppose you're going to tell me now Roberts has managed to get Drag Doggin's data to the Japs.
No. By the way, Australia advises that their agent on Shadow Island hasn't been able to find out what makes the data so important.
Now you've really got me worried. What did Stuart just tell you?
He read me a report from the West Coast. X9 and Jack Roberts have disappeared.
Stay put.
Lock the door.
Now what?
Sit down.
I don't get it. There's some mistake, mister. You got nothing on me.
I haven't followed you all the way from the Middle West just for my health.
If you had something on me, why didn't you take me off from Frisco? If you're so sure of yourself.
I got stuck in this boat trying to find you. She sailed 2 days ahead of schedule.
Oh, they thought you were a stowaway and put you to work, huh?
No, I bought my job.
Why go to all that trouble? You could have radioed for a plane to pick us up.
Because I found out something about this little tub. My only chance now is to win a bet that I've made with myself. I'm gambling that you're as good an American as any of the boys who are dying in the battlefields. If I'm wrong, well, I'll lose.
I don't catch your drift. But I'd be in the Army now. Only my ticker's not up to snuff.
Maybe I'll win my bet at that. I don't imagine you're especially fond of the Japs or Nazis, are you?
I'll say I'm not. But where do they fit in this picture?
They want the package that you're taking to drag Dorgan on Shadow Island.
Oh, so that's your game, huh? Cutting in on dragging me. Government man, my eye.
You think you're on a neutral ship, but her officers are Nazis. And her real cargo was ammunition that she took on board that night she hove to beside that other tramp steamer we met.
Go tell the captain the story you told me. Ask him for Dorgan's package. It's in the ship's safe.
Okay, I'll try again. How are you getting to Shadow Island? This tub isn't going there.
What do you think I'm packing for? They put me on a boat that does stop at the island.
Maybe you'll believe me when you get on that boat. She'll be Japanese. Don't let on I'm here. You'll get it if you do.
Hey, what are you guys doing in those Nazi uniforms?
It's time you learn that you are working for the Axis.
You're on a German ship. You're going to be put on a Japanese submarine.
Our captain wishes to pay military respect to our ally. Is your luggage ready?
I think it's about time for the United States to take over, don't you think, Roberts?
Now what?
If you're game, I think we can still keep the Japs from getting dragged Dorgan's package.
You win your bet, all right.
Start taking off those uniforms.
You heard him. Get out of those rags.
Come on, snap it up.
If you made contact with the submarine, talked to Captain Koragaga a short time ago. We should sight him any moment now.
Thanks for the information. Hurry up, climb up. See if I can spot that sub.
See anything?
Here she comes.
These Nazi uniforms have gotten us this far. Why can't they get us to Drag's package?
Oh, there's not a chance. They really have that safeguard. No, it's this way or nothing. Here's that wavelength we wanted. Lieutenant Phillips, on board freighter Swanson, calling American Naval Base.
Captain Koragaga, Captain Koragaga. Listen, sir.
Phillips, on board freighter Swanson, calling American Naval Base.
American Naval Base standing by. Coming, Phillips. American Naval Base standing by.
Phillips reporting. Jap submarine sighted. Does not suspect trap. I'm in control of SS Swanson. Jap submarine will be blown out of the water. East longitude 125 degrees 8 minutes. North latitude 30 degrees 2 minutes.
Crash dive. Stand by to attack.
Crash dive. Stand by to attack.
Dragging Americans. We'll soon learn Japan can do some blasting on our own account. No torpedoes.
No torpedoes.
Any luck? They're still coming towards us. Maybe... Oh, they're going down. They're going down fast.
You mean the Japs are going to blow this tub sky high, don't you?
Higher than that for all I care, and drag Dorgan's package along with her.
Hey, what about us?
We're going overboard right now.
Fire one.
Fire one. Torpedo one fired, sir.
Fire two.
Fire two. Torpedo two fired, sir.
Your papers, Takehima, including the formula for 722. We'll be in Japan shortly. The German freighter, registered neutral, of course. We'll transfer them to one of our submarines today.
I'm in control of SS Swanson. Jap submarine will be blown out of the water. East longitude 125 degrees 8 minutes. North latitude 30 degrees 2 minutes.
Crash dive. Stand by to attack.
Crash dive. Stand by to attack.
Any luck? They're still coming towards us. Maybe... Oh, they're going down. They're going down fast. We've done it. You mean the Japs are going to blow this tub sky high, don't you?
Higher than that for all I care, and drag Dorgan's package along with her.
Hey, what about us?
We're going overboard right now.
Load torpedoes.
Load torpedoes.
Fire one.
Fire one. Torpedo one fired, sir.
Fire two.
Fire two.
Calling reconnaissance, flight 20. Listening post, Australia 7, calling flight 20.
Captain Korkaga, Captain Korkaga. Listen, sir.
Calling reconnaissance, flight 20. Listening post, Australia 7, calling flight 20.
Our radio detectors, Captain Korkaga, have picked up an approaching plane.
Crash dive. Level off at 200.
Crash dive. Level off at 200.
There just in time to pick up Phil Corrigan, Secret Agent X9, Special Department, Washington. There were no other survivors. Over.
Nice work, Lieutenant Harper. Return at once to your base. Over.
Corrigan wants me to take him to Shadow Island. I'll tell the whole story in my report, but he's onto something big. Over.
Are you certain the man with you is Secret Agent X9? Over.
Positive, Lieutenant. His identifications are in order. Over.
In that case, Listening Post 7 will notify our agent on Shadow Island. Good luck to you, Corrigan. Signing off.
Here, now you keep it for me, will you? I'm landing as a German, and my Gestapo credentials came with the outfit, all neatly buttoned into a pocket, and I'm going to use them.
Uh-huh, so you're going to play Nazi and let them or the Nips pick you up and take you to Dolgan.
That's the general idea. I'm sure he can tell me why the Japs wanted those papers that went down with the Swanson.
I see. Better put that chute on.
And only by accident we discovered that 722 is also a perfect substitute for aviation gasoline.
A secret only Japan knows, and something Japan needs.
How soon will we know for sure that we have the formula?
Those notes that Hakahima took when he studied with Raymond at Langfield University cannot be delivered by submarine to our agents on Shadow Island before tonight.
Kurakaga thinks all hands were lost. By the way, I had Dorgan brought from the internment camp. He's here with me now, on the guard.
He is safer at the camp. Why bring him to your ship?
Nabura, either Dorgan or his friend betrayed us to American intelligence. Only these two, besides ourselves, knew of Hakahima's notes. I want to question him.
Ah, so. But in any case, our enemies must have a direct lead to Shadow Island.
I agree, Nabura.
I shall spend most of my time for a while at the House of Shadows. Strangers eventually come there.
Here comes a stranger, Marker, wearing a Nazi uniform.
I wonder how he got on the island without me knowing it.
Lucky Campbell will probably ask the same question. The Nazi ought to be able to answer that better than we can.
Where do you come from? And why that uniform?
Does it matter? Shadow Island is neutral territory.
Sure. But wearing that uniform makes you a belligerent.
Not if I'm an attaché.
We don't have diplomats here. And neutral countries put belligerents in internment camps. On Shadow Island, I'm the guy who puts them there. Unless, of course...
Unless what?
You better see Lucky Campbell. He has the last word around here.
I did not expect a stranger among us so soon. Certainly not an ally.
Shall I tell Captain Groot about him?
That will not be necessary. I shall attend to this man myself, after he has had his little talk with Kemba.
We try to make things pleasant for everybody here at Shadow Island. I'm Lucky Camper.
Hans Vermark, Excellency. I demand to see the German consul.
What did I tell you? No diplomats.
Shadow Island is a country only by international courtesy.
Still, it is protected by Japan, is it not?
Well, that helps.
Anyway, nations don't send officials here. Only spies now and then.
So you see, actually, Shadow Island is a business. I own it and I make the rules. Sit down. Tell me about yourself.
More profit for Lucky. What do you think, Lynn, about the Nazi?
Just what you're thinking of, Fong.
Do you have to go to the Japanese submarine and broadcast?
Not too much later.
Then we must act quickly.
So that's all there was to it, and here I am.
Your story don't help you any, Vermack. You're not a deserter. You're not wanted for any crime.
Yes, it's too bad. I can't make as much money off of him in the internment camp.
I do not understand.
Germany paid to set up an internment camp for her sailors. They're off a ship that's put in here for safety. Nice boys. And how they stay put.
Yeah, I don't even have to guard them. Germany really cooperates.
That's why we know Germany will pay for you.
On the other hand, if you needed protection and had the money...
He doesn't need it and hasn't got it. That's why there's nothing in it for us.
Dummkopf! Schweinehund!
It is not polite to threaten your host. Put away your weapon, please. I shall take this man to Captain Groot on board the Lorelei. Unofficial German representative.
Is that all you have to say, Nabura?
Not if Captain Groot approves this man.
Maybe you'll get the protection rate for him after all.
Well, if he's worth it to Groot, he's worth it to me.
Come with me.
Who are you?
Hans Svemak, Gestapo.
I met him at the House of Shadows.
Where did you come from?
The freighter, Swanson.
The Swanson?
I see you know she was torpedoed.
Yes. I also know that Americans took her over.
Americans? You're mistaken, Herr Captain. The vessel was under loyal Nazi command.
Captain Kurakaga of the submarine intercepted a message from the Swanson sent by Americans.
That is why he sank her.
I do not believe any such message was sent from the Swanson.
If what this man says is true, then Doggin's friend on the Swanson must have had something to do with it. And Doggin, where is Doggin now?
He knows nothing.
I took him back to the internment camp.
Put it away. We were also informed that all hands were lost. How did you escape and get here?
A Japanese plane saw me in the water and picked me up.
That is possible, but it did not land you here.
No, the pilot gave me a parachute.
Why did he not take you with him, please?
He was on a special mission and could not even use his radio.
Your credentials. We shall soon see if this man tells the truth. That's the operator.
That's tight. I'm not a Nazi.
I'm going aft. Hugo, that's the alarm.
Yeah.
What happened?
Our Nazi friend got away.
There's trouble on board.
I heard somebody call that man X9. The American agent.
And he knows too much. Why drag Doggin was important to us, and where we have him.
Then we'd better get to Dorgan before he does.
There's no telephone there. Take my car.
You're safe now, X9.
Thanks to both of you.
Thank Australian Listening Post 7. They sent me your description by code.
Oh.
I'm Lynn Moore, Australian Intelligence, and this is Ah Fong, agent for China.
Ah Fong?
You know about Terry Haney. He was our friend.
Yeah, my friend too, Ah Fong.
Nobura was responsible for his death.
She was, huh? Well, I wasn't sent here to take Terry's place, but now that I'm here, I'll try.
You didn't really have to say that, you know, but I like to hear it. What do you plan to do?
I've got to get in touch with a man named Greg Dorgan. He's at the internment camp. Nabura knows that I know that, too.
All we have to do is keep on this road, and I'll get you there first.
No, that's a risk that neither of you have any right to take.
Well, I can't argue with that.
Neither can I.
Hitler. I aim to take Herr Dorgan to the Lorelei as soon as possible. Captain Groot wishes to question him again.
Bring Herr Dorgan. You are new here. Why didn't Captain Groot send Jogel, Takahari, or Bach as usual?
Being new, I obey orders and ask no questions.
That's Noburo's car. I recognize those headlights. Hurry, perhaps to change your orders.
Yeah, perhaps.
Send how many are armed?
He's gone. Nahar and I will follow him.
When our men come from the camp, send them after us.
Good.
Hiding in the water someplace.
I was hoping that he would. Go and bring that truckload of oil from the camp.
He'll be glad to give up in a couple of minutes.
It won't take as long as it did to bring the oil. And that was quick enough.
Yeah, I told the men what to do.
Tokyo, just decoded.
So, Major Saki is impatient. He will do nothing until I assure him that all enemy agents working with X9 on Shadow Island are dead.
It is smart because it is careful. How about the American counter-spy?
X9 has masqueraded as a Nazi officer for the last time.
Idea was a good one, Takahari. That finished the American, all right.
We have an excellent report for Captain Groot and Nabura.
I didn't think you'd still be here waiting for me. We almost gave you up.
Nabura's men came by about an hour ago. One of them in my car.
Yeah, I figured they'd bring your car back in. I couldn't get back to it.
Were you successful?
I don't know any more than I knew before. I've got to become Phil Corrigan again. I'll need some money to pay Camber's head tax. Oh, and I purposely sent my identification papers to Australia.
Pardon, but one thing at a time. Lynn can get through to Australia for you. I can hide you, and then while you're
Then
still...
while I'm waiting to hear from Australia, I'll be arranging a welcome for Mr. Drag Dorgan. And a little surprise for Tokyo, huh?
We accidentally discovered that one of Professor Albert Raymond's unsuccessful experiment in explosive is a perfect substitute for aviation gasoline. Yes, gasoline. No, sir, we have a sample here. The true value of 722 is not suspected by Professor Raymond, but the only record of the formula is now in one of his filing cases at Landfield University. Landfield University. Yes, sir. Yes, Your Excellency. A civilian official.
Even civilian officials will be pleased to learn that Nabura has a plan to take 722 from Raymond's file.
How did Nabura like the report?
Jeff, the secret agent X9 makes Nabura very happy. But how he got Miss Moore's car makes Nabura very suspicious of Miss Moore. She's telephoning Captain Groot.
And so, Captain Groot, we must make certain about Miss Moore. She could have been helping X9.
I agree, Nabura. We cannot afford to take any chances.
The usual code, Captain Korakaga, from Captain Groot, Shadow Island.
Decode it at once.
On bearings for rendezvous with Miss Moore, sir.
Do you think, sir, that Miss Moore is a secret agent instead of merely a traitor?
Never trust a traitor, Yogo. If Miss Moore has been tricking us, Korakaga's in a position to know.
And if she is a counter spy?
She'll be taken out to sea and shot out of a torpedo tube.
Good evening, Captain Korakaga.
Good evening, Miss Moore. Are you ready to broadcast for Japan?
That's what I came here for. Good evening, Australia. From Miss Australia. Ask yourselves one question. What is Australia getting from this war, except debts and sorrow? Your loved ones are dying vainly in futile resistance against the mighty empire of the rising sun. For example, 9 Allied battleships were sunk today. Remember, you wives, mothers, and sweethearts, it's up to you to stop this senseless destruction. And with that last advice, this is Miss Australia, signing off.
Miss Moore sounds so bloodthirsty, she almost fools me at times.
Well, she gave the urgent signal. I think we'd better decode her message in a hurry.
Right.
I think it might be a good idea if I examine what you have written. It is impossible for me to detect a hidden code just by listening to your broadcast.
If I had been in your place, Captain Korakaga, and you in mine, I would have looked for a hidden code long ago.
I waited for Captain Groot to call me back and give me the report on Miss Moore from the submarine.
Good or bad?
Captain Korakaga could find no code in her broadcast. We do not think now she had any connection with X9. She is returning as usual.
But someone helped X9 before we finally killed him. Whoever it is, X9 must have told him about Dorgan.
Then why worry? You'll try to get in touch with Dorgan at the internment camp. All we have to do is wait for him.
That is too slow. We must use Dorgan as a magnet to draw the unknown agent to us.
Drag Dorgan just came in, Marker.
It'll be his hard luck, Solo, if he starts anything.
He never goes anywhere these days unless Nabora tells him to.
Usual number, please, Miss Lim.
I didn't expect him back for a day or so.
Nor I. Mr. Dorgan has returned so soon. I should say it was done for some purpose. Thank you. Hello, Mr. Dorgan. Somebody's lost a chance on the next drawing.
You would find a ticket. It'll probably win, too.
If you win, be just with me. Not grateful, please.
What do you mean? Where'd you get this?
From the floor at your feet just now. I was returning from the booth where I bought a ticket for myself.
Hello, Mama. Papa Pierre here.
Have you ever known him to be anywhere else? The lazy good-for-nothing?
So, you, Dorgan, what you want?
You got a man staying here.
You hear, Mama, we got a man staying here.
Ask him which one.
You heard her.
Room 4.
Voila, down the hall.
Come in. Come on in. Close the door.
Who are you?
Phil Corrigan.
I was told you were dead.
That's what Nabora would like to think. Sit down, Drag.
That note I got said I could cut myself in on a big deal. Suppose I swallowed the hook, huh?
Give me the information I want, and there won't be any hook.
What do you think I know?
You wrote a letter to Jack Roberts telling him where to pick up a package and asking him to bring it to you.
How do you know about Roberts?
We got together on board the Swanson before she was torpedoed. He died saving me.
And the package?
Went down with the Swanson.
Did Roberts know what was in that package?
No, he didn't. But he said you knew. That's what I want you to tell me.
Well, there's only one man that knows what was in that package, mister. And it ain't me.
Can you get in touch with him?
I can try. That is, if it's worth my while.
It will be.
Well, it's a deal. I may be able to bring him here now.
I'll wait.
Yeah, I went over there like you told me after showing you that note I got. But was I surprised? Because the guy in room 4 is Phil Corrigan.
I never expected to hear that.
I know you didn't. You thought it was the guy that's working with Corrigan.
How so?
Corrigan ain't dangerous, Nabora. He don't know nothing.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Then how would you like to make $1,000?
How? Getting rid of Corrigan?
Yes. But so cleverly that no one can even suspect.
That's a cinch. I'll be back in a half hour to pick up that grand.
Did you hear?
everything. But please, why kill X9 before he leads us to his friends?
It is safer this way. In a day or so, X9's friends will miss him and come to Dorgan. After, of course, they hear the rumor that Dorgan knows where he is.
What do you wish me to do?
Follow Dorgan and X9. If anything goes wrong, kill them both.
This joint ain't much, but this is where we wait for the guy that you want to talk to about 722.
722?
Yeah, that's what you're after. Sorry I couldn't get this guy to come and see you, but he's playing it safe his way.
Hey, you're being very helpful, Dorgan. Very helpful. The next time, Dorgan, that you've got to go back to Nabura for instructions, you better make it harder to follow you.
Okay. You got me, and I want to live, so I'll talk, huh?
That's right, and quick. Tell me what you've heard Groot and Nabura say about 722, and also what you know about it.
Failing to discourage X9 this time was less important than silencing Dorgan.
X9 himself mentioned 722. Where did he learn that number?
I must find out. Perhaps he knows more about our secret than we thought. It is better X9 escaped.
X9 must be made to talk. But how, please?
With the help of Lucky Kamba. I think the convenient laws of Shadow Island may prove useful.
I'm not interested in Drag Dorgan's death, Mr. Corrigan. Unless you fail to live up to our agreement...
Okay, fair enough, Mr. Kemp. Well, hello, Nabura.
I am your greatest admirer, Mr. Corrigan. But this time, I underestimated you.
What are you two talking about?
I presume he has made some arrangement to pay protection?
Yes, with a 24-hour deadline.
Ah, so. Credit, Mr. Corrigan, is not so good as cash.
But good enough to stop you, Nabura.
You will forget once too often that Japan protects the neutrality of Shadow Island, Mr. Kemba.
One ticket for the next drawing, please.
How's it going?
Nabura knows that I've only got 24 hours to pay Lucky protection.
Collecting your money isn't going to be easy.
Not if Nabura has anything to say about it, but she won't have. Has confirmation come yet?
This lottery ticket can't lose.
Thank you.
You'll have to travel fast to make it on time. How's Phil getting there?
I arranged for him to ride on one of the trucks that crossed the mountains to Kowloon. That ought to throw Nabura's men off the trail if they're following him.
Just the same, I'm glad he decided to have you act as a rear guard.
This is the top of the grade. Well, I hope you find what you're looking for.
Thanks. So do I. Okay, you can show yourself.
Ah, that's what I want to hear. The package I want from Corrigan is being dropped from that plane. I'll take that package.
Afong. Nabura must have put a driver on that truck. He's getting away with the money and credentials.
From X9 at last?
Australia just relayed a message he's safe. But on Shadow Island.
Shadow Island? Off the coast of China? How in the world did Phil Corrigan ever get there?
Following a trail to drag Dorgan. But the report claims Dorgan is dead.
What else did Australian intelligence have to say?
Nothing, except that X9's identification papers are going to be dropped for him from an Australian plane. Step on it, Afong. My goose will be cooked if Nabura's agent gets away with those identification papers.
If he were in a car, Phil, he might have a chance, but not in that truck. How did you ever get hold of that steering wheel?
Well, the driver jumped and I grabbed it.
Oh, you were lucky. The driver's dead. He's lying up the slope. Are your credentials on him?
No, the package the plane dropped must be lying around here someplace, I think.
Well, how about Nabura's other agent?
That was Bach.
Oh. Well, I'll search the dead man.
That's a good idea. I'll see if I can find my package.
Except Shadow Island has one less unsavory character. How about you?
Well, at least we've accomplished something. Lucky he can't high pressure me any longer. Yeah.
Your credentials also put you on an equal footing with Nabura.
Hardly equal, I found. By killing Drag Dorgan so he couldn't tell me what he knew about 722, Nabura is still a way ahead of me.
Well, at least we can be sure the number signifies a new big plan against the United Nations.
All the more reason why we've got to find out what that really stands for as quickly as possible. It's a cinch the Nips aren't using Shadow Island for a base just because they like it. If we can only find out why...
You didn't forget about Bach. I did. Thanks, Phil.
Yeah, now we're even.
At least we're alive, even though I won't be as useful as before. Nabura will know I'm an agent for China now.
Yeah, and Bach will also tell her how much we don't know. We shouldn't have talked. We knew we might be followed.
But perhaps we can make use of that mistake.
Well, nothing would please me more. How?
Bach can't report what he doesn't hear. I know the dead man has a friend who might be able to tell us something. Tom Mace, the lottery runner. I want to talk to you a minute, Tom. I want to ask you about Ed Baker.
Ed, oh, yeah. What's he done now?
Got into trouble. He's dead.
Dead? I told him not to mix in with Nabura. Well, it serves him right.
Do you know what it was all about?
Well, some biggie is coming here secretly. Quite a few of the boys are going to work for him, I understand.
Oh, is this big shot at Jeff?
Well, I wouldn't be a bit surprised with Nabura making the arrangements. Get a hold of Parker if you can find him. He'll know.
Thanks, Mace.
I wouldn't tell this to anybody but you, Ah Fung. You don't never say anything about me.
Looks like we've got a lead to 722.
Yes. And if we find Parker...
You better tell Lynn to watch out for him. Nabura probably knows about you by this time, and if you start asking questions, it'll tip her off that we know more than she thought we did.
Right.
Bach has reported what happened. X9 has his credentials, and there's nothing we can do about them now.
At least I found out he doesn't know anything really dangerous.
Unfortunately, he is still in a position to find out. Leave him alone. Trail Ah Fung.
So, we never suspected Ah Fung. And he has been on the island long enough to have an organization.
And such an organization threatens my visitor. X9 undoubtedly uses it through Ah Fung. Find out about it, and then we can move decisively.
I am ready, Nabura, if you are.
You and your assistant discovered 722, did you not?
No, not exactly. We accidentally discovered that when 722 is mixed with distilled water, it becomes a perfect substitute for aviation gasoline.
Yes, that is what I meant. It was originally one of Dr. Albert Raymond's unsuccessful experiments with explosives.
You were a student under Professor Raymond in the United States, nicht wahr?
That's how I got a sample of 722. But my notes, which included the formula for it, were lost, as you know.
Is there any other record of the experiment?
Yes, one, in Dr. Raymond's files. And he does not know 722's great value. That is why I'm here.
Oh, so we are to help you go to the United States to get that file.
Not quite correct, please. You are to help me select a man, however, who is to do it for us. Let me show you what I mean. Sit down. Here is the motion picture of Professor Albert Raymond, world's authority on explosive. He is coming from the science building at Landfield University. There is the man, Nabura. Are there any criminals on Shadow Island who look at all like him?
Yes, Hakahima. He is not an unusual type.
Here is a picture of him, Nabura. Choose 3 or 4 such men. Here on this ship, I shall train them to become Raymond's doubles.
Yes, but why send more than one to the United States?
Only the best man will be sent. He will pose as Raymond long enough to copy the formula 722.
Ah, as long as no one suspects what you want and how you plan to take it, you are sure to succeed.
That is why Ah Fung and X9 are so dangerous. Even though they know nothing, they suspect too much.
Ah Fong must take it for granted that we're following him. Otherwise, he'd never go openly to X9 like this.
To make sure they don't give us the slip, I'll stay here. You watch the back.
Mr. Corrigan is expecting me.
Oh, is he indeed, mon ami? Well, then go to him.
No doubt Nabura's been told about me. I'm being followed.
Did you get a chance to tell Lynn to watch out for Parker?
Yes, before Nabura's men picked me up.
Good. The sooner she locates Parker, the better for us. He's our only lead to 722.
Sparring with Nabura, only because we must pretend to observe the common laws of neutrality when...
Hello, Miss Moore. What brings you here?
Lucky Camber asked me to drop by. May I come in?
Certainly.
Lucky Camber gave you 24 hours to raise some money, I believe.
Yes, I'm supposed to pay him protection. That is, if I don't possess the usual credentials. But I do now.
Oh, do you?
Come in, Bach. Come in.
All right, Miss Moore. Thanks for telling me about Lucky.
Don't mention it. Of course, I shall have to report to Mr. Camber your treatment of Herr Bach.
By all means.
On the other hand, Miss Moore, I should tell no one else if I were you.
I think I see what you mean.
It's too bad we had to let her go. I don't want to tie into Lucky.
It is regrettable to contemplate beauty associated with treachery, but it ensures longer life.
That's for me, a longer life. Sit down. No, over here on the bed.
And Bach is their prisoner.
So? But not for long, Miss Moore. Thank you. Turn around. Where's X9?
Looking for me, Takahari? Tie him up with Bach. Lucky I figured the girl would double-cross us.
Oh. Such things happening in our hotel will not please Monsieur Camber or Mademoiselle Nabura.
Oui, Mama.
Now what, Phil?
Well, if we can find Nabura, we'll give her a bargain. These two for Parker.
Monsieur Corrigan and Afon are just leaving.
Bien. The hotel of Papa and Maman Pierre. She's neutral. N'est-ce pas, mon vieux?
We, prisoners, we do not want them here.
You're right, Phil. Papa and Mama Pierre freed them, just as you predicted.
Yeah, but it's only a good beginning.
You're gambling they'll go to Parker because I heard you mention him?
That's it, Alphonse.
I'd better go alone, Phil. You haven't seen Lucky yet, and one of his men might give us away by trying to arrest you.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, Alphonse. I'll make my peace with Lucky and wait for you there at the House of Shadows.
Credentials in order. You've let me know that you're a secret agent. You're in the clear.
No money from him for protection?
No, unfortunately. Too bad, Mr. Corrigan, you don't fear extradition laws.
The fugitives from anywhere are always safe here, if they have money.
A real convenience for those who need refuge.
Well, make your blood money while you can, gentlemen, because as soon as Japan's beaten, there won't be any protection for Shadow Island's phony neutrality or your ownership.
Now don't move until you're told to. That's the last of them, Nabura.
Thank you, Parker. I know.
Are you ready?
Turn on the spotlight. Take off the blindfold. Turn all the way to the right, please. Now the left. He won't do.
Well, you've got 4 others you can use. I'll get rid of him. Hey, what's your rush?
Are the tests over?
Mr. Parker is going to take the last candidate out now.
Are you coming back, Parker?
I wasn't, but if there's something to do...
There he is.
I'll be seeing you.
My coming to you when I did may have worked out for us after all. But all I found out about Parker is that he hasn't been around for a few days.
You tricked Takahari, Lynn, but I let him and Bach trick me.
Too sure, huh?
Yes. I didn't think they'd even suspect I was following them. Walked into a bump on the head.
Well, served us right. Knowing Nabura, I'm sorry now that I mentioned Parker's name in front of Bach and Takahari.
Don't go near the House of Shadows. Send Pete and Trent. Have them do just what I told you. Then hurry back here. You'll be needed.
Is Parker in there now?
Yeah, only too glad to help.
I'm sorry to have kept you waiting, Parker, but this test is the most important of all. Secret Agent X9, who knows about you, unfortunately, will be here very shortly, and I wish to make certain that my reception for him will be a success.
Too bad we couldn't get cut in on what's going on at the House of Shanso. Then we could be playing instead of watching.
Yeah, the boys that got the jobs that Jap dame is handing out there are in the green. Well, I got enough for the drinks. How about it, Trent?
Fine, Pete. I ain't.
Where's the House of Shanso?
Hey, a couple of beers.
There he goes.
Yeah. As soon as we get this brew inside of us, we'll take care of his Chinese pal.
Pete and Trent did what I told them. X9 is coming now.
Very good, Takahari. Be ready to lock the door. I have a surprise for Mr. Corrigan. And you, Bach.
I know what to do.
There can be no doubt, Fox, that our plan will ensure final victory to Japan.
Yeah, Nabura. But suppose X9 finds out what we're really trying to do.
X9 and Ah Fang lost their last chance to find out about us this afternoon, when you made sure no one followed you. Secret Agent X9. Welcome to the House of Shan So, Secret Agent X9. While you die here, Ah Fang will be killed in what looks like a gambler's brawl at the House of Shadows.
Want change, Ah Fang?
Yes, please.
I saw Phil leave a while ago. Where did he go?
Do you see Pete and Trent?
Yes.
Phil overheard them talking about some men they know who are getting jobs from Nobura.
Do you think there's any connection between Nobura's jobs, the stranger from Tokyo, and 722?
That's what Phil is going to find out at the House of Shansu.
There can be no doubt, Fox, that our plan will ensure final victory to Japan.
Yeah, Nabura. But suppose X9 finds out what we're really trying to do.
X9 and Ah Fang lost their last chance to find out about us this afternoon, when you made sure no one followed you. Secret Agent X9. Welcome to the House of Shan So, Secret Agent X9. While you die here, Ah Fang will be killed in what looks like a gambler's brawl at the House of Shadows.
You know what to do, Pete?
Yeah, slip me the dough.
$1 he don't.
You're for me, Solo. $1 he does.
Bets down. Hands off.
Looks like trouble marker at our Fang's table.
Nothing to worry about yet. 2 more he don't.
Bet. 4. Wait a minute. The odd wins. Are you trying to pull something crooked?
There are no crooked games in the House of Shadows.
You're a liar. The big money is on the odd. I saw what you did, and I want my winnings.
Very sorry, there are no winnings for you.
You're not going to get off that easy with me. Not on a raw deal like this.
All right, bring it up.
Where were you when all this was going on, Marker? My bottle just happened to hit the killer, but he'd still have shot Ah Fong if Solo hadn't dropped him.
Trent there, and you, Pete, ought to know better than pick on anybody working for Lucky Camber. That's why I wasn't on my toes.
You'll have to watch sharper after this, Marker. Spies are taking advantage of Shadow Island's neutrality. That's why Trent is dead now. You, Pete.
Honest, Lucky, I didn't know Trent was gunning for Ah Fong. I was just paid to beat him up, that's all. I don't want any real trouble.
Knowing you, Pete, that sounds about right to me.
Okay this time, Pete. Now beat it.
Okay, I'll take your word on Pete. What about this dead man here? He tried to lead me to a death trap.
That's my cue. Listen, folks. What I'm going to say goes for everyone. I'm the boss around here, and that's the way it has to be. Anybody, get this, that interferes with anyone working for me gets just exactly what Trent got. Include yourself in, Corrigan. You too, Nabura.
You are visible proof, Mr. Corrigan, that I am not always so efficient as I could desire.
But persistent. So am I.
Persistency is wisdom, only when there is a chance for success. I'd leave for the United States if I were you.
It's an old American custom not to travel backwards, Nabura.
My people have had to make a virtue of retreat.
As for you, Ah Fong, Mr. Camber has just declared open season on Secret Service men.
And Secret Service women, too, I believe.
All right, give me a hand here.
I must ask a favor of you, Miss Moore.
Certainly, Nabura. What is it?
Takahari is late. I can wait for him no longer. When he comes, tell him to go at once to Trent's room in the house of Lin San.
The house of Lin San. I'll tell him.
Thank you, Miss Moore. And there will be no broadcast tonight from the submarine.
The more pressure X9 puts on Naburo, the more help she's going to demand from me. And what chance have I got? Anytime Japan wants to take over Shadow Island, that's that.
But Japan can't move if you stop Nabura.
All you're telling me is try to stop Japan.
I'll also tell you how to do it. Find out the meaning of the number 722.
How did you know about that number?
There isn't much going on around here that I don't know, is there?
If I've got the answer to 722, I can always threaten to tell X9. And then Naburo won't dare get tough.
Japan either.
Go inside, Brock. Watch everybody Miss Moore talks to. If she uses the telephone, I want to know it.
X9 off phone left some time ago.
I know. They are searching for Trent's room, but I am the only one who knows where he stayed.
Ah, so? And why, please, is Bach watching Miss Moore?
I told her the address to test her loyalty. Nobody can betray us but her.
But she offended Japan. She broadcast our propaganda.
Never trust a quisling. Take 2 men with you and go to Trent's room in the house of Lin San.
Here's what you want, Takahari. Listen to this. Don't try to get in touch with me for a while. Sorry I missed you. There's a big deal on at the house of Shan So, and I'm cut in. You'll probably be in it sooner or later. But don't say anything till I see you. How's that? It's signed Bill Browder. Hey, he writes pretty, don't he?
Just what I want. And now quickly, straighten the room.
Fix the room? What for?
We may have visitors soon. Secret Agent X9 and Ah Fong.
What a shame we'll have to disappoint Takahari. What about Bill Browder? Do you know him?
A disreputable character. We'll wait for him in your room.
Does he stay at the Dupre Hotel?
Just down the hall from you.
Hello, Lorelei. This is Captain Groot. Nabura, yes.
I will come to see you as soon as possible. I must wait here until Takahari reports.
Sehr good.
Is something the matter?
Nabura is delayed, that is all.
I'm sorry. I wanted a decision. This man, the one named Browder, is unsuitable.
It seems to me Browder resembles the man I saw in your motion picture.
Superficially, he does. But I do not think it's wise to send him to the United States to double Raymond.
You studied with Raymond. You should know.
I must be very sure of my choice. So much depends on it.
It's the only way to take advantage of the accidental discovery that Raymond's unsuccessful formula for a new explosive makes a perfect substitute for aviation gasoline.
Fortunately for us, Raymond does not realize that his experiment 722 is so valuable.
Yeah, the right double should be able to take the record from his files.
While the wrong one might give the whole plan away.
I'll have Browder sent back to shore.
Wait. Browder has seen my motion picture of Raymond.
But doesn't know his name.
And yet, if he talked, it might give the United Nations something to work on.
You're right. You will put Browder into an empty cabin on a guard until Nabura decides what to do with him.
Yeah. That is wise. We should take no risks with a man who can be so valuable to X9.
Hello, Mama Pierre. Is Mr. Corrigan in?
Perhaps he is. Or perhaps he went out the back door.
Do you mind if I find out?
Who am I to stop guests of having visitors?
You are so gracious, Mama. What are you two doing?
We're waiting for a man named Browder to come back to his room up the hall.
Bill Browder?
Mm-hmm.
I took it for granted you'd follow up on Trent. I know where he lives.
How did you find out? We located him, but only after we'd followed Takahari.
Takahari? Why, Nabura gave me Trent's address to tell Takahari. But I haven't seen him. It was the first chance I had to let you know.
There's your answer, Alphonse.
Answer to what?
Nabura figured you'd give us Trent's address. She was testing you again.
That's too close for comfort.
You may not be in the clear yet. You better go. Use the rear entrance. Watch out for Nabura's pets.
Watch carefully the way the man uses his hands, his smile, the way he walks. It would not be necessary for you to look exactly like him. What you must be able to do is to make others who know him think that you are the man long enough to accomplish what we want. That is of utmost importance.
How are things progressing?
Very satisfactorily. Any one of these men will answer our purpose.
Duke, Miley, Gar. How so? Where is Browder?
Hakahima said Browder won't do. I thought he might wish to talk to him.
Excellent. Proceed with your instructions.
Bach telephoned that Miss Moore did not betray us. How did Takahari make out?
Covered the only trail X9 could possibly find leading to us. Where is Browder?
D-Suite. Yogel is amusing him.
So, I will visit them. Explain, please.
Browder said he talked to you himself. He tricked me.
And got away. How long, please?
I don't know.
Then I had better arrange matters for Browder as fast as possible.
Hello, Browder. Over there.
What's the idea? What do you guys want?
Information, Browder.
Haven't got any.
You know me, don't you?
Sure, you're X9. So what?
You wrote a note to Trent.
Him and me are old pals.
Trent's dead.
Dead? Uh-huh. He'd be alive now if Nabura's gold hadn't looked so easy to him.
What were you doing for her in the house of Shanso?
Look, guys, I'm in deep enough as it is. Any talking I do will get me the same thing Trent got.
You know something that we've got to know, brother.
Well, if I were back in the States, maybe I'd answer your questions, but as long as I'm on Shadow Island, I'm deaf, dumb, and blind.
Watch it. They're closing in.
Takahari and Bach are staked out at the hotel entrances, huh?
Uh-huh.
Look, is this note a bluff or is it on the level?
Step outside, if you don't believe us.
You're on the spot. If we can get you to a hideout, will you give us the information we want?
Anything you want to know.
Okay, where's your car?
It's on the next street, but I can't get to it now.
That's why you're safe with us, brother. We'll take the risks to keep you alive. Look, I'll take Browder's car and lead them on a wild goose chase. That ought to give you time to question him and put him when the Burra's men can't find him.
Plenty of time.
I heard a shot. Browder's making a getaway. Where's your car? Down the street.
This is the man, Naburro.
Do you bring me a message from Takahari or Bach?
No, they left me watching the Dupree Hotel when they went after Browder, who was trying to escape.
You're not supposed to leave your station.
I know, but I found out that Browder is still in the hotel with our phone.
So, X9 is misleading Takahari and Bach, making them think that he is Browder. Perhaps X9 has outsmarted himself.
I got him! How did that car stay on the road?
You didn't hit him. Takahari, look. That's not Browder.
Secret Agent X9. Faster, Bach, faster. I won't miss him this time. Maybe X9 went up that side road we passed. I can't see him ahead.
Maybe so, but we'd better get back. He led us out here to give Ah Fong a chance to question Browder and then hide him.
I think you're right.
Are you sure you've overlooked nothing, Browder?
I'm not holding out on you, Ah Fong. All I know is that tonight they're bringing in better motion pictures of the guy I saw on the screen.
But he is an American.
Yes, but I don't know who he is.
Papa, go and see what is happening.
Oui, Mama.
Come on, Papa. Open the door. Open the
I
door.
can't woman, it's locked.
I've got the key here. There. Open it. Don't get nervous. Why, there was shooting back there and somebody locked the door.
Here, let me do it. You better stay here.
Browder's dead, and Ah Fong's gone. You hear that, Mama? They can't have gone very far. Perhaps we can find them.
I hope so, because if we don't, Ah Fong won't be alive very much longer.
Well,
Do something, Papa. Do something.
I myself will search every nook and corner of this town.
Well, while you're doing that, I'll be doing some searching myself.
By refusing to do as I ask, Ah Fong, you are making a fatal mistake.
It would be a mistake to betray my country. By refusing to do so, I merely lose my life.
I regret your decision. Chinese and Japanese should work together.
Work together for the prosperity of Japan? The degradation of China? No. Thank you.
You have made your choice. It is unimportant whether you talk voluntarily or involuntarily.
I beg your pardon, Abura. There are some who abhor disgrace more than they fear pain.
Brave words do not make bravery. Think about it until night comes. Stay with Ah Fong, and make sure, Yogo, he does not trick you.
It is ridiculous. Going through all the trouble of reproducing Professor Raymond's office at Landfill University.
On the contrary, Captain Groot, it is necessary. The man we select to impersonate Professor Raymond must be thoroughly familiar with everything concerning the one place where he can steal what we need.
The talking motion picture that are coming from Germany will show him the professor's mannerisms. If he can pass for Raymond, he won't have any difficulty with his filing case.
Ah Fong refuses to cooperate.
Whoever expected him to? The sooner Ah Fong is put on the submarine, the sooner Kurakara can start working on him.
You amaze me, Captain Groot. I have always understood that Germans are patient and thorough.
Yes, where such qualities are needed. All we need now
We need 722, Professor Raymond's formula that he thinks is an unsuccessful experiment in explosives.
And which we know is a perfect substitute for aviation gasoline.
I'm quite aware of all that. That's why I suggest you let Germany send a man to Landfill University.
Twice your people have been smuggled into America, twice captured and executed. No, Captain Groot. Military intelligence will handle this affair without interference from Berlin.
And without any interference, I hope, from the American Agent X9.
Parker.
You still around, Corrigan?
What makes you think I wouldn't be?
Nothing in particular.
Undercover agents, when they're known, usually don't survive this climate.
Some do, Solo. Maybe I'm one of them. I've got something for you, Marker. It was thrown at me a few minutes ago. Check it for fingerprints, and then return it to its owner with my compliments. Where's Camber?
In his office.
Thanks.
You can forget those fingerprints, Marker. Give the knife to Nabura. She'll know who it belongs to.
What do you want?
I want to see you, Camber.
I'm sorry I can't say the same.
I'm looking for Ah Fong.
I haven't seen him.
He was taken by force from Papa Pierre's this morning.
Why are you telling me this?
Because you own this island and pretend to govern it.
There's no pretending about it. Shadow Island is run my way. People paying me to stay here do as I say or they don't remain long.
Okay, we'll talk about that some other time. Right now, Ah Fong's disappearance is the important thing. Well, he works for you, doesn't he? He's supposed to have your protection.
While he's working for me. Not while he's working for you, Corrigan.
Does that mean you're not going to do anything to help find him?
I told you before I wasn't interested in anything you undercover men do.
That leaves it up to me then, huh?
Yeah.
I've looked all over this town today trying to locate Ah Fong.
I know all about that.
But there's still one place that I haven't looked. The interned German liner.
The Lorelei is German property under my protection according to international neutrality laws. I would advise you not to go snooping around the Lorelei.
Nevertheless, that's exactly where I'm headed.
Hey, Corrigan. There's a phone call for you.
Oh, thanks. Hello, Corrigan.
This is Lynn, Phil. I'll do the talking. People can overhear you.
Okay, you said it for me.
When I got to the speedboat, Nabora was there and told me my broadcast was canceled. She didn't want me around. Do you suppose she's having Ah Fong taken to the submarine?
We'll have to find out.
I thought so. I'll watch Nabora. You'd better get to the boat landing.
Yeah, right away.
Watch closely. Very tricky.
There ain't no tricks I don't know. He'll stay put.
You know where to meet the submarine? The signal to use?
Look, I ain't no kid. I said yes before.
Stand by. I'm bearing for rendezvous with speedboat, sir.
Reduce speed. 3/4.
Reduce speed. 3/4.
Steady as she goes.
Steady as she goes.
We best get back quickly, Phil. Motion picture film is coming to the island tonight from Germany by Japanese plane.
Motion picture film?
Browder told me. All we have to do is to identify the American in the film, and we'll know about 722.
Where are they landing it?
I've told you all that Browder knew.
Well, we may not be up a dead end at that. Lynn's following the Bura.
You had better come to the office with me, Takahari. You stay in the car, Bach. As soon as I get the report, Takahari and you can leave for the meeting.
I'm happy to see you, Alphonse.
No more happy than I, Lynn. Any luck?
I saw Nabura and Bach in a side street near her office. Nabura ordered Bach to stay in the car until Takahari came back with news.
About where to find the film, I'll bet. The radio message from the plane had just been received and telephoned to Nabura.
Any change from the plan?
None. The film will be dropped when we signal.
Careful. Signal.
Drop in the field out there.
Take care of the light. I'll get it. Thanks for unwrapping it for me.
It is useless for me to run this old film, Captain Groot. I need more recent photograph of Professor Raymond and a soundtrack of his voice.
As you know, Hakahima, the new film is on its way to Shadow Island from Germany, by way of Japan.
You will not have to wait much longer, Hakahima.
So, Nabura, the plane is bringing it.
Yes, the can of film is to be dropped in a field where Takahari and Bach will pick it up.
Takahari and Bach didn't know Phil was riding with him, but he...
But the risk he is taking will be justified if we arrive in time to help get the film from Nabura's man.
Thanks for unwrapping it for me.
all right.
Let's get him out of here.
I was pretty lucky at that. I tripped, fell on my face, and knocked myself out, so Bach and Takahari left me for dead.
Yes, but had we gotten here earlier, we'd probably have the film as well as you.
If I had to choose between you and the film, I think I'd choose you.
Thank you, Lynn. You know something? The identity of the miracle in that newsreel is the key to 722.
Whatever the plan is, there's no doubt that it threatens the success of the United Nations.
The mysterious official sent from Tokyo has some connection with it.
So the men who have disappeared after Nabura interviewed them.
But where does she hide them? And show them motion pictures?
I don't know. I wish... The intern German liner.
The Lorelei. Let me off at the pier. I've been on it before.
I'll take Lynn to the House of Shadows and come back.
No, I've got another job for you, Alphonse. I think I know of a way to make Lucky Camber help us against Nabura.
I'm sure you'll understand when I say that I need many filing cases to hold the records of my unsuccessful efforts. Only part of one to hold the records of my accomplishments. And in conclusion, I wish to assure my worthy colleagues that I'm exhausting every means possible to develop new explosives. But until each formula has been tested and proved practical, I shall withhold it from public use.
It is important that you remember this man's speech characteristic. Soft-spoken, easily understood, pulling his ear.
I got you. I thought of it. I see.
Take them back to the cabin, Yogo. I will not need them again until later.
Yeah.
Your training is progressing very rapidly, Hakahima. Have you decided which of your students is best fitted to impersonate Professor Albert Raymond?
Not yet, Nabura. The man chosen must be able to imitate Raymond's slightest idiosyncrasy.
You are too careful, Hakahima. All this double has to do is to impersonate Raymond long enough to copy Formula 722, which you will find in his office files, and then disappear.
How can the double get to the office without his being discovered if he does not act exactly as Dr. Raymond does?
Captain Groot forgets. Raymond does not realize that one of his unsuccessful experiments in explosives is the perfect substitute for aviation gasoline.
That is why the entire plan to get 722 depends upon no one ever suspecting the true value of the formula, least of all X9. Welcome, X9. You underestimate the vigilance of the men selected to guard the Lorelei.
So I see.
When the guard reported that you were on board, I was disappointed. I had just been assured that you were dead.
That's what makes our work so interesting, Nabura. You can never be sure of anything.
Yes, that is often true. Not this time, however, if you please.
Susie, you're curious to know how much you have found out about 722.
I can imagine.
Lorelei? This is Captain Groot? Ah, Takahari. For you, Nabura.
What is it, Takahari?
Miss Moore is here and thinks it is important to speak to you.
Very well.
Nabura.
Report, please.
Afong is with Lucky Camber at the House of Shadows, and I think it has something to do with you and the Lorelei.
Ah, so. Thank you. I will attend to the matter at once. I am sorry, but I must forego the pleasure of helping you question X9 for a little while. Is Afong still with Camber?
Yes, Nabura, he is. But he came out for a while and talked with Marker. Thank you.
Our Japanese tiger lily apparently anticipates what Ah Fong is up to.
That's all right with me.
If Lucky was smart, he'd get what X9 and Nabura are after, then threaten each of them that he'd give it to the other.
Maybe you're right at that, Solo.
That's not unusual, Marker.
And that's how it is, Naburo. The Lorelei is interned here under international neutrality laws. And Captain Gruce has to obey those laws the same as I do.
Ah, so. Ah Fong accuses Captain Groot of violating his neutrality.
Captain Groot is using the Lorelei for the headquarters of your espionage activities.
Have you agreed to help Ah Fong?
I help nobody but me. Bring me proof. If he does, I'll keep the Lorelei so empty. Drop a pin in her and she'll rattle.
You resemble the Chinese, Mr. Camber. Their stubbornness is a knife with which they stab themselves.
I beg your pardon, Nabura. Old Japanese custom. You call it harakiri.
Don't expect any protection from me, Ah Fong. You were one swell Fantan dealer, but I don't hire spies.
Of course, Mr. Camber. That would not be neutral either.
You are making a fortune through your ownership of Shadow Island?
Thanks to taxes, gambling, and fugitives from other countries who are willing to pay to stay here. Not bad.
If your island were occupied, there would be no profits.
I know. My neutrality depends on Shadow Island's usefulness to Japan. That's why I left that old Nazi tub alone.
A practical man is always practical. This complaint of Ah Fong against Captain Groot is a move by X9 to compel you to act, aiding him, of course. But at present, X9 is my prisoner on the Lorelei.
Is Ah Fong in Mr. Corrigan's room, Mama Pierre?
Mais oui, mon petit. Our family is there. And the so nice Monsieur Corrigan. You expect him, yes?
We expect him.
No.
It's lucky we decided I should listen at Camber's, Ah Fong.
Having you telephone Nabura so we could hear what she and Camber said is the smartest move Phil has made yet. When he shows Camber that newsreel...
Phil doesn't have the newsreel. Nabura has him. I heard her tell Lucky.
Go back to the House of Shadows, Lynn. You're invaluable to the United Nations as the quisling you pretend to be. Nobody can take your place broadcasting propaganda for the Japanese.
I know. Duty.
I'll get some men I can trust and go after Phil.
Good luck.
Captain Groot waited for Nabura to return. When he comes, he will show her how a man can be chilled, just cold enough to suffer agony, yet never cold enough to die. Even the great X9 will be more than eager to tell us everything.
Oh, now, Bach, not everything. Even Japs and Nazis aren't that curious, are they?
Everything. Inside, Schweinhund.
telephoned for you to come here too. Bach is taking X9 now to the refrigerating rooms.
What do you want me to do?
Take charge of the guards on the ship. Arfang probably knows that X9 is on board.
Nabura is right, Takahari. I've come for X9 and proof for Camber. You have a small revolver. Let me have it, please. Hold them here until I get back with X9.
Nabuda will attend to Arfang and X9. I'll stand guard here. Take care of the bodies.
Bodies? There's only one.
2.
This should keep X9 uncomfortable until Nabura and Captain Groot arrive.
Shut off that machine and release X9. Nabura kindly told me where to find you, but as I did not know the ship, it took me a little longer to get here than I wished.
Unfortunately for you, Arfang. I am better acquainted with the Lorelei. Put him in with X9.
And Mr. Corrigan returned yet, Mama Pierre?
No, mademoiselle. I have not seen him come in. But perhaps Papa will know.
Shoot, Mama, must you ring the bell so loud? Bonsoir, Mademoiselle Moore. And what is it you wish me to do you for?
Have you heard from Arfang since he left to go to Lorelei to find out what happened to Phil?
You hear, Mama? Why would anyone want to go to an intern German liner?
Why anyone would ask Papa the questions and expect the answers, that I do not know.
To Mademoiselle's question, there is only one answer, Mama. Monsieur Corrigan, he was in trouble. Arfang went to help him. Now, Arfang, he is in trouble, too.
Arfang can't get X9 out of that liquid air freezer now. Even if we let him.
You mean it's ready to explode?
Any minute.
on this deck. There's only one other way out of here, and that leads to the upper decks.
What blew up down below?
Did you see X9 or his Chinese friend?
No, come with us.
No, Hakahima, we don't go below decks now. Not until I get a report on what happened.
You seem to overestimate my importance, Captain Groot. The work can be completed now without me.
What Nabura does with you is your own business. You and she are Japanese. But I, as German, I don't want to be responsible for anything happening to you. Not when 722 is involved.
It was the liquid air freezing vault, just as we suspected. No one was hurt, but Ah Fong and X9 escaped.
From the Lorelei or just from down there?
From down there.
They must not leave the ship.
Hakahima. That's the name of Nabura's mysterious visitor from Tokyo.
Yeah, we find him and can't nab him. Anyway, we know his name and where to locate him next time.
You didn't come on this ship looking for him, but for a newsreel. At least we could carry that away with us.
Unless we can pick it up on the fly. I don't see it around any place, do you? Well, it's a cinch we can't stop to hunt for it now.
This is the last place to look for it.
I know, but let's not wait to find out how long is last.
Why that way? They got the pier guarded. Our only chance is to get to the other side of the ship and overboard.
There they are. Keep firing. I'll send men to get them when they come ashore.
There's no use waiting or hoping any longer. I've got to get back to the House of Shadows. Phil, where's Alphonse?
In my room, he's safe too. We had to swim for it, and then get away from the Boer's men on shore, but we finally made it.
Am I glad to see you and hear that? Phil tells me you saved him, Alphonse.
It is only important that he's alive and knows the identity of Nabura's secret visitor from Tokyo, a man named Hakahima.
Hakahima.
Uh-huh. Unfortunately, we couldn't bring him with us.
Too busy getting away yourselves, I imagine. Did you get the film?
No, there was motion picture equipment in the salon, but no can of film lying around.
At least we know more now than before.
A little.
More than that. This Hakahima is training someone chosen by Nabura from Occidental fugitives on the island to impersonate the American on the film.
Yes, but we'll have to identify that American before we have a direct lead to 722.
You will. You're also sure Tokyo is using the number to designate some big new move against the United Nations.
Yes, but that's all we know, and that's not enough. Are you broadcasting tonight?
If Nabura gives the word, why?
Ask Australia to forward Akihima's name to Washington. You know, there's a chance that he might have been to the United States.
I hope he was.
I noticed a telephone in Groot's cabin. That means there must be a temporary line to shore. Do you know where it goes?
Next door to here, in Nabura's office.
I thought so. Why hunt for the newsreel? Akihima's what we want. He can identify the American in the film and also give us the answer to 722.
Of one thing I am certain. Neither X9 nor Ah Fong had any opportunity of learning anything while they were on the Lorelei.
Unless it was something about Hakahima. They might have been in the salon at one time while Hakahima and I were here.
You say that as if you have some reason to believe it.
It's such a little thing, but I remember now. The door to the salon seemed closed when we left here with Jogel to search for them. It was opened when we returned.
Knowing my name would not help them any.
But your name can be traced in the United States. You studied there with Professor Albert Raymond.
But how can they? You see, I was sent to Landfield University under a different name.
Japanese military intelligence makes few mistakes, Captain Groot. Our secret is still safe. They do not know that we are training a man to impersonate Raymond.
And even Raymond does not suspect that we can mix one of his unsuccessful explosives with distilled water, and it becomes a perfect substitute for aviation gasoline.
Yeah, you made the discovery accidentally. But Takahima, the sooner you train the man who is to go to America posing as Raymond...
You have seen this picture of Raymond before. It is an enlargement from the newsreel. Can you train a man to impersonate him any faster?
The man is ready now. What is so difficult about copying Formula 722 from Raymond's files?
Captain Groot. He will be 7,000 miles away from us, on his own with no one to coach him. Therefore, he must be able to impersonate Raymond perfectly, and that takes time.
We shall have only this one chance to gain an independent fuel supply. One chance for final Axis victory, Captain Groot. And you want to hurry.
This note came by messenger to the pier. Bach and Takahari questioned him. He said Camber gave it to him.
Come at once. X9 claims a man named Hakahima is illegally on board the Lorelei, which is interned under international neutrality. X9 accuses Groot and demands that I act. You are right, Groot. X9 heard you and Hakahima talking. Bach and Takahari will go with me.
I shall post extra guards. Nobody is going to take Hakahima or me off my ship.
X9 is closer to 722, I guess, than he ever was before.
You should be nearer than that. Japan won't move against you if you can threaten to turn the secret over to X9.
I'm inclined to agree with you, Solo.
Something tells me Nabura's in for an unpleasant surprise.
Somebody's a clever forger. This looks like my handwriting, but I didn't write it.
Seems real. Are you tricking me? Sending men to the Lorelei, perhaps, while I am here?
I don't go back on customers. And you're paying protection for Hakahima.
X9 was not here?
No. No, but that's probably who your phony note came from.
Go to the submarine. Tell Captain Kurakaga I shall radio him after your broadcast. All right, Nabura. See if X9 is at Dupre's.
Where will you be, please?
Back on the Lorelei.
We'll report by telephone from your office.
Get busy on that phone, Alpha.
Captain Groot, this is Takahari calling from Nabura's office.
What is it, Takahari?
Nabura wants Hakahima to come here at once.
Hakahima?
Ah, so. And hurry. Very fast, please.
All right, Takahari.
Good. You're a good forger. I'm a good imitator.
Let's give this place the once-over, huh?
Nothing here. Nabura's too clever for that.
Say, we'd better intercept Hakahima. Nabura's liable to be here any minute with Bach and Takahari.
Pardon, please. You wait here for Hakahima. Then we'll take you to Nabura.
Get Hakahima. I'll take care of these two. Get over next to the table. Hello?
Bach?
No. No, Nabura. This is X9.
Ah, so. And Bach and Takahari?
Don't worry about them, Nabura. They'll be here when you want them.
X9 has Hakahima, Bach, and Takahari.
And there's nothing more to do.
You underestimate me, Groot.
X9 found out that Papa Pierre does not use this wine cellar anymore, and so we are occupying it without his permission.
Bach and Takahari won't follow us now. Don't brace yourself for torture. Americans don't work that way. Relax, it's easy to talk.
I'm a scientist. Bushido, the Japanese code of warrior honor, does not appeal to me.
Bushido can appeal to no reasonable man of goodwill.
I don't want to go to the United States. And I cannot tell you what you want to know. Because then I can never return to Japan. Nabura couldn't help but know who told you.
You can be sure you won't return to Japan if you don't give us the information we want.
What would you do if I explain how you can learn all about 722 without throwing suspicion on me?
Once I was sure you told the truth, we let you escape.
There is a secret headquarters at the other end of the town.
Tell Nabura I got a lead to it by searching her office.
That would help protect me.
You better stay here with Akihima. How do I get to the headquarters?
I've never been there, but I have heard Nabura talk about it and can direct you.
Fortunately, I can be sure of success this time. So certain that I am having Group radio Captain Kodakaga to relay my message of assurance to Tokyo.
And so, Australians, day by day, Asia rallies to the cause of Japan. Asia wants Asia for the Asiatics. Asia believes that Japan is her champion. That is why I will now plead with you. Call myself Miss Australia to identify my nationality and warn you. Make peace with Japan before it is too late. Good night.
You know, every time I hear Miss Moore, I hate to think what would happen if the Japs ever find out she's an Australian secret agent.
So do I. No decoration's too good for her. She gave us the urgent signal, so she's got a code message for us in this broadcast.
Message come from the Lorelei, sir, as Miss Moore said it would the moment she was finished.
In code?
No, sir.
Relay Tokyo. Akihima captured by X9, but will act according to plan and send X9 into a pre-arranged trap.
I anticipated that someday, perhaps, Hakahima might become your guest, X9. And so I arranged with Hakahima to send you here, where men always tell me what I want to know. Turn around and look at the floor, X9. Your life will be spared if you will tell me where Hakahima is hidden.
Must confess, Nabura, I'd like to be able to tell you. But right now, Akahima's more important to the United Nations than I am.
There could be no mistake. Tokyo acknowledged our message.
Yes, sir. Tokyo received the report I transmitted from the Bureau about Hakahima.
I do not like your attitude, Hakahima.
A true Oriental never permits words to betray emotions. How far you are worried about X9?
Having experienced Japanese treachery before, I am not ashamed to admit that I'm sensitive to it.
You Chinese are gullible. So are the Americans. The story I told X9 was prearranged for such a situation as this.
If you have sent X9 into a death trap...
Do not add what you would do to me. Not until you can be sure of what has happened to your friend.
Knowing Nabura, I can have no doubt.
I'll suppose X9 is merely held captive, so that Nabura can exchange him for me. You are thinking now of attempting to warn X9? It is too late.
I beg your pardon, Hakahima, but I shall not take your unreliable word for it.
Your life will be spared if you will tell me where Hakahima is hidden.
Must confess, Nabura, I'd like to be able to tell you. But right now, Hakihima's more important to the United Nations than I am.
Reverse that machine. Come down here. Less man on Shadow Island, willing to shoot you in the back.
You wanted me to tell you where I had Akihima, huh?
And now you will take me to him.
Uh-huh. We better hurry. Makan Takahari might be here any minute.
The eyes of a woman are deadlier than her tongue.
What are you doing here with X9 in the Bureau?
We're not playing blind man's bluff, Miss Moore.
What's it all about in the Bureau? Shall I get Camber's men?
If you know what's good for you, young lady, get rid of her, Afong. I'll take Nabura to where we're going.
I will explain, Miss Moore, but not here. If you please.
Permit me, Nabura.
I got back from my broadcast just as fast as I could drive the speedboat, but I see now I didn't have a chance to warn Phil.
How did you know about Phil?
Nabura was so sure that he'd walk into her trap, she had the submarine radio Tokyo, announcing his death and Hakahima's rescue.
Chickens counted before hatched, never come home to roost. Fortunately, Hakahima counted chickens, too.
I'm afraid I gave myself away to her.
I know. And we must protect your job with Nabura.
That's a less grim way of saying, protect my life.
Hakahima is gone, is he not, X9?
Yes, Nabura. And you will not have to wait here for him. Don't move, X9.
Papa Pierre's wine cellar.
Yes, I took advantage of the fact that he wasn't using it just now.
I believe you. Papa Pierre attends only to his own business. Afang may be here any minute. Shoot him.
I beg your pardon, Nabura. It is impolite of me to arrive too soon, but necessary.
I'll forgive you this time for being impolite, Afong.
I thought you would, Phil. And I don't regret losing Hakahima in order to save you.
I'm satisfied. All we need now is Bach. But I'd trade the three of you for Akihima.
Hakahima is more valuable.
Based on what we know, that's an admission that Akihima is the key to the new plan against the United Nations. The plan you call 722.
Your statement is equally revealing. Either you had no time to question Hakahima, or he gave you no information.
Perhaps you'll talk. If not, perhaps I can get in touch with Akihima and make a deal with him to talk, in order to save your life.
Let them go, Phil. Sorry I couldn't warn you. That was Lynn popping at us.
Lynn?
No one else. We overheard enough to know that Nabura had Hakahima. And as Nabura had reason to suspect Lynn, we decided to pull a quick one.
Very good. That'll put Lynn in solid with Nabura again. And maybe she'll be able to find out where Akahima is. Come on.
So when I saw Fong go into the wine cellar, I thought I'd probably find you there.
It was most fortunate indeed that you acted so promptly. You will not regret it when Japan rules Australia. I suppose Bach is with Hakahima?
No, please. Bach is hunting for Hakahima.
Hunting for him? Then he was gone before you got to the wine cellar?
Not only gone, but someone had cut the ropes.
Maybe it was Papa Pierre. He released you and Bach once.
No, we asked him. Someone else, please.
How about questioning Dupre?
Why did you not go with Bach?
I stayed to see who might come to the cellar.
That was smart, Takahari.
Help Bach search for Hakahima. Get more men if necessary. It is better at that than if X9 had him.
I'm sure you'll understand when I say that I need many filing cases to hold the records of my unsuccessful efforts. Only part of one to hold the records of my accomplishments. And in conclusion, I wish to assure my worthy colleagues that I'm exhausting every means possible to develop new explosives. But until each formula has been tested and proved practical, I shall withhold it from public use.
I wish to speak to you in your cabin.
Immediate engaged fire. You're able to imitate the man's mannerisms perfectly, but you still don't speak like him. Now listen carefully. Characteristic voice inflections are much more important than tone. Run the film again, Yoga.
Jawohl.
For a moment, when I heard the projection machine running in there, I thought Hakahima had returned.
The man who ought to impersonate Professor Raymond must be trained regardless of Hakahima. Any news?
None. But if he had been hiding to escape X9, he would have returned by now.
Yeah, someone else must be holding him.
Someone, then, who knows about 722.
All the more reason to hurry. We must get Raymond's formula for 722 from his files before he discovers that it is a perfect substitute for aviation gasoline instead of merely one of his unsuccessful experiments in explosives.
That is correct.
How about Camber?
I have waited before going to him. I will have to tell him about Hakahima.
If Camber knew about 722, he would be even more difficult to handle.
That is why I dislike telling him anything. But he must help, and do it my way.
If Hakahima happens to return, I shall send words to you at the House of Shadows.
Be sure, Takahari, no one sees you take up your position. Remain here, Bach.
Nabura just blew in solo.
You're telling me?
She's got so much blood in her eyes, some of it's liable to spill over on the floor.
Well, I think Lucky can provide the blotter this time.
You do? Why?
Our boss is always at his best when he's playing both ends against the middle.
And so, Mr. Camber, it is of the utmost importance that you use every possible means to find my countryman, Hakahima.
I own and run this island for the protection of those that pay me head tax. But they also have to obey my rules. And one of those rules is no politics.
Your authority is only as good as Japan's willingness to back it up.
You've been willing a long time. Better stay that way.
An island in the far Pacific, neutral and without extradition laws, fitted into Japan's war plan. Yours was chosen.
I didn't ask to be chosen, and I'm not taking sides in this fight. Neutral means charging everybody the same price, and that's me, neutral.
I warn you for the last time, Mr. Camber. Shadow Island must be run as Japan wants it run, not as you want to run it.
And I'm telling you from now on what I say goes, not what you or anybody else says.
Even though a radio message from me to Hong Kong will bring bombers over?
Bombers don't know friends from enemies. Isn't that taking a big risk with Hakahima and 722?
Where did you hear about 722?
That's just what Hakahima asked me.
So, you have Hakahima.
Yes, I got tired of having you and Corrigan upsetting things.
Where have you got him?
Don't make me laugh.
Is death a laughing matter, Mr. Camber? I anticipated that perhaps you were holding Hakahima, so I took precautions. Where is he?
I should have known better than to try to outsmart you. Hakahima is in the old colony mine.
Do not leave the House of Shadows until I return. It would be unhealthy.
You and Nabura really outsmarted each other, Camber. Thanks for the information.
Everything go here like you figured?
Better, Marker. How about at the mine?
Charlie and Lou are fixing things up like you want.
We're going to kill two birds with one stone. Corrigan as well as Nabura.
And as I reached the window, I heard a noise. Started to turn around, and then something hit me on the head.
Whoever took your place, still holding the gun in the window when I left Camber's office. It could have been only one man.
Yeah, X9. And he knows that Camber is holding Hakahima in the old colony mine.
Give it a try, Lou. Right, Charlie.
Okay, go back and get Hakahima, and I'll connect up the plunger now, and the next guy that hits that wire, I'll never know what hit him.
We'll be waiting for you. You've got to walk, so I'm untying you. I wouldn't get any ideas if I was you. Get up. Remember what I told you. No tricks. Hakima's run outside, but X9 got confused and thinks the chap went deeper into the mine.
Yeah, but I don't want what X9's gonna get.
You bet.
How did the frame-up go? Did Nabura take the bait?
Oh, you knew where I was going, huh, so long?
Very little goes on around here that I don't know, Camber.
You'll change your tune when you hear what Lucky's done.
Maybe.
Well, how's this? Corrigan heard me tell Nabura where she could find Hakahima. And Hakahima isn't there.
So Corrigan is racing Nabura for the privilege of walking into Lucky's trap at the old colony mine.
Not bad. 2 for 1.
You know what that car means?
Either X9 or all Fong is ahead of us.
That being the case, we'll wait at the entrance.
Charlie, we're in luck. Hakihima's run outside, but X9 got confused and thinks the Jap went deeper into the mine.
Yeah, but I don't want what X9's gonna get.
You bet.
Into some kind of trap.
Undoubtedly, but we had better investigate. Hakahima may have been in there. Where is my countryman, Hakahima?
Didn't he come out?
I wouldn't ask the question if he had.
We must have got mixed up. We thought he came out. I guess he and X9 both got it.
Ah, so.
Camber really meant to kill you, Nabura.
With X9 and me dead, and Hakahima his prisoner, Mr. Camber would certainly have regained full control of his island.
But now we'll make an example of him.
No. We'll let Mr. Lucky Camber believe for a while that his plan worked. Takahari.
Yes.
You and Bach watch the House of Shadows. I'll be on the Lorelei. And in spite of Hakahima's death, we must carry out our plan to secure Professor Raymond's Formula 722 from the United States.
Yeah, others are also liable to discover, accidentally, what we did. That this unsuccessful explosive makes a perfect substitute for aviation gasoline when mixed with distilled water.
I do not believe there is much danger of that, but I do agree that a copy of the formula must be obtained from the professor's files in Landfield University as quickly as possible.
The men are ready.
Good.
You are willing to have a doctor operate on your face to make you look as much like the man in the motion picture as possible?
Sure, for the money you're paying us.
Dr. Harold is waiting for them.
This way.
I wonder which one will turn out to look the most like Raymond.
What does it matter, except that he will be the double that we use?
Natürlich. And now, what about Camber?
I'm expecting him to give me the opportunity, any moment now, to teach him his lesson.
Good.
Now looking the town over, Camber?
Yeah, I've been out the mine. Somebody finished off Lou and Charlie.
Might have been Nobura's man or our farm. What about Nobura, Hakahima, and X9?
Not a sign of them, here or out there. I guess they walked into the trap.
Too bad about Hakahima. He could have told you about 722.
There's another way to find out. Raid the Lorelei.
There's no doubt that that liner has violated the protection she got from your neutrality.
So I'm taking her over, along with the Nazis and the Japs on board her. Somebody ought to be willing to talk.
Convenient laws and enormous profits. Those are the things worth fighting for, aren't they?
The only things.
No, Camber, you're not looking at a ghost. That explosion you had set in the mine didn't get me.
You have no proof I was responsible for that?
No?
No. But I'm willing to make a deal with you anyhow.
What kind of a deal?
You want that Jap Hakahima, don't you?
Well, right now, I don't know whether I do or not.
Don't kid me.
Are you sure you're not kidding me?
For $50,000, I'll tell you where he is.
Save your breath, Camber. I know where he is. He's under tons of rock and dirt at the old colony mine.
Well, if you know that, then you killed him.
I'm very glad to hear you say that, Mr. Camber. Takahari reported your return, but he did not tell me about X9. This is much better than I anticipated. Let him go. Mr. Campbell will get him for us.
I'm not taking sides. If you want Corrigan, you'll have to get him yourself.
I think not. You see, I heard you accuse him of killing Hakahima. And it was very fortunate that I came in time to hear it. Otherwise, I should be inclined to believe you responsible, not only for the death of my countrymen, but also for attempting to kill me. Of course, you would not want me to have that mistaken idea. So to prove your sincerity, you will follow my suggestions hereafter.
So, Nabura didn't waste any time taking advantage of the situation, and I didn't waste any time beating it.
With Camber accusing you of murder in her presence, she can now compel him to arrest you.
But I won't be alone. You will be an accessory after the fact.
Somehow I feel honored. What are we going to do now?
You know the island better than I do. Where can we lie low?
Let me be of the help, please, s'il vous plaît. Open the bar gate, Mama. Feet, feet!
Papa Pierre is not as lazy as you think he is, monsieur. Entrez! Voulez-vous entrer?
Merci, madame, pour la gloire de nation.
Now I'm beginning to understand about those mysterious notes, and about a lot of other things, too.
When the mystery she is explained, she's always like this, simple. Voila. And over here, downstairs in a little room behind the wine cellar is the place Mama and Papa fix up for hiding their friends.
You're a clever agent, Papa Pierre. I never even suspected you for a minute.
Mama and me, we are the Free French. We must do what we can. And because the organization is not yet so perfect, it's best to work alone until La Belle France is free again. S'il vous plaît.
Gar and Duke had not regained consciousness when I left the Lorelei, Dr. Harold. I did not think it would take so long.
There's nothing to worry about. It'll be all right in the morning.
When shall I send my man for Miley?
I'll telephone you.
This operation should be as simple as the others. All three men were chosen for the resemblance they bear to the man they are to double.
Your selection was excellent, but I can't state the exact time I'll be finished.
I realize that.
You don't mind letting yourself out, do you?
Not at all.
Wait, these three reps, that is Lynn. telling me liberté, fraternité, égalité.
Hello, Lynn.
Sit down. Go ahead and eat. I heard what happened after you and Nabura left the House of Shadows, Phil. And I had an idea Papa Pierre would help you.
We'd have been in a tough spot if he hadn't.
Phil counts me in, too, you see.
You are in. Almost as deep.
What'd I tell you? I must say, Papa Pierre, you know the right people to trust.
Thank you.
Just compliment, that is all. Why are you not on the submarine playing the quisling over the broadcast, eh?
Nabura is doing it for me.
Oh, it will be a pleasure, n'est-ce pas? Listening to her on the radio.
Radio?
You know that I talk to Australia through code in the broadcast I make from the submarine for the Japanese. But you didn't know till now that Australia answers me in a musical program, which Papa Pierre always listens to.
What do you know?
It is a pleasant surprise seeing you, Nabura. We expected Miss Moore.
She will not broadcast tonight. I have a confidential report for Tokyo.
Call military intelligence at once. Aye, aye, sir.
The submarine. She is on the air. Japanese. You understand much better, Mademoiselle Lin.
They're calling Tokyo. Tokyo's answered. Nabura is reporting Hakuhima's death.
But Hakuhima's death will not delay our plan concerning the men who are to impersonate the man who is the key to 722. I have the surgeon, a fugitive wanted in America for practicing without a license.
And this plastic surgeon has already operated on 2 of the men. She is now reporting to Tokyo that he's working on the 3rd at this very minute. Tokyo is congratulating her. They're signing off. What do you make of that?
Men, motion pictures, plastic surgery. It all adds up to one thing as a key to 722. A double. Yes, but a double for whom? That's what we've still got to find out. But at last we've got a direct lead. How many so-called doctors with criminal records are on this island, do you know? There are 5 so-called doctors in this island. I've seen 2, you've seen 1.
Then one of the 2 Ah Fong is investigating must be the man we want.
Right.
He said he was going to Dr. Harold's last. Why don't we go there and meet him?
Why not?
Oh, you'll have to return later. I'm busy. I thought you were somebody else. My patient.
Your patient is what I'm interested in. A facial operation, was it not? Whom did you make that man look like?
What's the meaning of this?
I will ask the questions, Doctor, and if you're wise, you will answer them. Well?
I don't know.
You had a model?
Yes, a picture which I destroyed when I finished according to orders. The ashes are there.
Where are the other 2 men you operated on?
Taken away.
And this man is also going to be removed?
Yes, I thought you'd been sent for. That's why I opened the door.
You have given me an idea, Doctor. I see some cards and a pencil on your desk. You will write a message. Write, please. I have been called away on an urgent case. Sign your initials. Now, we will remove the patient into the adjoining room, after which you will bandage my head exactly like his.
Dr. Harold evidently does not trust us.
He may be smarter than we thought. What's that about?
He was not smart. Merely fortunate, temporarily.
We'll take care of him later. Let's get Miley out of here.
Ah Fong's car, all right.
Yeah. Maybe this is the doctor we ordered.
You smell anesthetic.
No wonder.
See who that is.
It isn't Ah Fong. But whoever it is, he's dead.
What happened to the young Chinese who came in here? I hadn't any time to waste, Doctor, so talk and talk fast. I'm not bluffing.
He insisted upon taking the place of my patient.
And?
Well, he doesn't know it, but he's going to be taken out to sea in a speedboat and thrown overboard.
Sorry, but I want to be sure you'll be here when I come back to talk to you. Get some men you can trust and send them to the speedboat landing. I'll take Ah Fong's car.
So I told Marker to send men, letting him think that Takahari and Bach had put Ah Fong in the box.
Good. To help Monsieur Corrigan prevent the box being dumped into the sea.
Yes. And only you and Phil and I know that Ah Fong deliberately took the place of the man who died at Dr. Harold.
Ah Fong, un homme de courage.
Very great courage, Papa Pierre. He thought he would be taken to the other men whose faces had been changed to look like the Americans.
Marcus men arriving is unfortunate, but perhaps we can take advantage of them. You'd better go now, Takahari. Are you in charge here?
Yeah, got an explanation for all this?
Not an explanation, perhaps, but certainly a solution.
Thanks to you, Phil.
My burial at sea was premature.
That box came too near to being your coffin to suit me.
Perhaps it fits you, X9.
No, not this time, Nabura.
Phil Corrigan is wanted by Lucky Camber for the murder of my countryman, Hakahima. And I accuse Arfong of murdering John Miley.
Don't say nothing now, either of you. Lucky Camber never got rid of nobody without hearing both sides. Come on.
Mama is telling me that someone is in Nabura's office. Now perhaps we learn something about Monsieur Corrigan and Arfong. The office of Nabura is this next door. Voila! I have a microphone in it, behind the light fixture. I plug it in, like this, and then I listen.
Ja, mein Capitan. That is what Nabura ordered. X9 is under arrest for the murder of Hakahima, and Arfong for the murder of Miley. And they will not be able to disprove Nabura's accusations.
Now things are beginning to move. What about their doctor?
Don't worry about him. Dr. Harold will say nothing.
Mostly it is like this. They talk to the Lorelei.
It's too bad we didn't hear the first of this and can't hear what Groot is saying.
Ja. Ja. Auf Wiedersehen.
It's all my fault, Papa Pierre. I should have had you send trusted men to help Phil rescue Arfong.
No, at least they are still alive. I could not have got men in time to do even so much.
It's good to hear you say that. Phil and Arfong only have one chance now to beat Nabura.
We, Dr. Harold.
Phil left him tied and gagged in the same room with Miley. The man Dr. Harold murdered under instructions from Nabura.
Mademoiselle, what if Nabura she finds out about you, huh?
Dr. Harold knows about me. He saw me with Phil.
Always the Dr. Harold. There is one no good man.
My quisling broadcast for Japan, even my code messages to Australia, aren't as important now as saving Phil and Arfong.
Je comprends. This Dr. Harold, he could tell us about 722 as well as Nabura, n'est-ce pas?
More than that, he can save Phil as well as Arfong. I'm reasonably certain Dr. Harold also knows that Lucky Camber murdered Nabura's agent, Hakahima. By Dr. Harold, I came back here to untie you. Who helped you? Why did you bring Miley's body back in here? Dr. Harold? Dr. Harold? Dr. Harold?
I never expected to see you here, Miss Moore. You're late.
No, just as I was about to come in, I saw Fräulein Moore, so I waited and followed. What's she doing here?
That is a question, Bach, which Nabura certainly will wish to ask her.
The Herr Dr. Harold is a good witness. They're good.
And so is Miley. Dead men are always trustworthy. Did you do what Nabura ordered?
Yeah, the Captain Carcago and the submarine will receive instructions from Groot by radio.
Come, please. Where's Nabura?
Conflabbing with Camber in the office. I'll be out here in a minute.
I had better tell Nabura about her.
Yeah, I'll watch her.
We have argued long enough, Mr. Camber. Either you agree to help me, or you refuse.
I'm neutral, like Japan. I don't take sides in the open.
Your ownership of Shadow Island depends upon Japan. Your neutrality merely a convenience which Japan tolerates.
I don't have to worry about Japan as long as my setup here is useful.
So. But I know you murdered Hakahima and tried to murder me.
Prove it.
Tokyo will take my word. I am military intelligence, and Hakahima was a very important chemist.
In other words, I'm guilty if you say I am.
But X9 will be guilty if you say he is.
Okay. Okay, profits come first.
All right, Takahari, what is it?
About Lynn Moore, please.
From what you told me, I don't expect Dr. Harold's able to take nourishment any longer. Do you want me to accuse Lynn of murdering him?
This is all from Captain Groot on the Lorelei, sir.
But are you sure there could not be some mistake?
I asked for a second confirmation.
I did not expect you received a special signal from Nabura so soon.
Something unexpected must have happened on the island.
That could be the only explanation for ordering me to take such drastic measure. Call all hands.
General quarters.
What you told me when you were first brought here, and what Naburo claims happened, just don't gel.
Well, you have some kind of a court in this island, haven't you? Maybe that's the place to go to find out who's telling the truth.
No place else. Of course, I always decide whether or not anyone should be held to answer. Like now, when I question the witnesses.
You yourself, Lucky Kamba, can testify that X9 admitted to you he killed Hakahima. And Miss Moore can now demonstrate a great friendship for Japan by telling how she saw Ah Fong murder John Miley, the one man who could prove that X9 murdered Hakahima.
Did you ever see this knife before, Marker?
Yeah. Yeah, it's mine. But I didn't.
It was thrown by someone who pulled the light switch. This should interest you, Naburo, more than it should me. 722 is not a number used by the Japanese to designate a secret war plan. It represents something very definite that Japan needs and is planning to steal. I know how, where, and what. I shall tell the United Nations all that has happened on the Lorelei concerning 722 if Naburo insists on the execution of X9 and Ah Fong, or if she molests Lucky Camber in any way whatsoever. And it's signed the man with the secret.
Ah, so. X9, Ah Fong, and you, Lucky Camber, have a very smart friend, but not smart enough. Shadow Island is now under Japanese control. There will be no communications with the outside world. The man with the secret will never tell it to the United Nations. Have X9 and Ah Fong executed at once.
After them?
Not yet. I do not want them to think they are being followed. I am sure I know where they are going. Send Miss Moore to me. I will take that note, please, from the man with the secret.
I'm afraid I haven't got it, Naburo. Maybe I dropped it.
Shoot him.
No, wait a minute. Here it is.
I may permit you to live, even restore your island to you, but not if you disobey me, and not until Japan possesses 722.
That's a better deal than I expected.
You are still useful. I wish to speak to Miss Moore alone. Why were you at Dr. Harold's?
Trying to help you.
Ah, yes. And yet you could be a secret agent, hiding under the mask of a Quisling.
Suspicion is the price I must pay for believing in Japan instead of Australia.
And if your explanation does not remove my suspicion, loyal or disloyal, you die.
Our men are in complete control of all key points on Shadow Island. It is proper that you have a guard worthy of your position.
Excellent, Takahari. You are a warrior. You carry a samurai sword.
It was my father.
Let Miss Moore see it, please. Go to Dr. Harold's. Take sailors, perhaps. If X9 and Arfang are not there already, wait for them.
But why should they go there?
Where else? They do not know that Dr. Harold is dead, and they must realize that the Lorelei is guarded now too heavily to risk trying to get on board.
Ah, Harold is the one man able to tell them what they want to know.
Exactly. I wanted them to believe they had one last chance to learn about 722. This warrior, Miss Moore, has been trained since childhood to cut off a head with one stroke of his sword. And now, what have you to say for yourself?
What did I tell you? Lynn must have walked in here after Nabura's men finished off Harold. And Nabura was going to use her to testify against us.
Yes. Takahari and Bach brought Lynn to the House of Shadows. But why did Nabura accuse me of killing Harold, too?
The lights went out before she had a chance to develop her flame up against us, you remember?
Lucky for Lynn. She would have had to follow Nabura's lead or else reveal the truth about herself.
Yeah, well, let's hope that Nabura didn't figure it that way.
What about this man with the secret? I thought we knew every agent on the island.
The fact that he tried to save us proves that we don't. But he'll have to lie low now, so we'd better make full use of his ultimatum.
Right. Let's not waste any time here.
No, my friend. We're staying.
I don't follow you.
I'm pretty sure that Nabura must have thought we'd come here.
I see now. She has no reason to think that we would suspect Harold had been murdered.
That's right. And Harold alive could tell us what we want to know.
Then we can expect visitors.
Bach and Takahari, only we're going to surprise them.
I approve. But how?
By taking the places of these dead men. They'll think we haven't arrived yet and wait.
And then?
They may say something we want to know. And if they don't, we'll make them talk. Come on, let's get to work.
Has anyone gone into Dr. Harold's?
Yes, please. 2 men, one of them Chinese.
Are they there now?
Unless they went out the back way.
I'll check on that.
That looks good to me. Take Miley's place at the table.
Men on guard in the rear haven't seen anyone come out. I've sent them inside.
Cover the windows and doors from here. If X9 and Arfang were here, they've gone.
Yeah, unless our men have them in the next room. Nobody's here.
How can there be 2 places at once? They've taken the place of the dead men in there.
Are you sure about that?
This door was open when we left. And another thing, both those bodies are in different positions.
Yeah, I think I noticed that too.
These are fire grenades.
lucky for you the man with the secret threatened to tell the United Nations about 722 if Nabora didn't leave you alone.
So Nabora moved the Navy in, but she's leaving me alone. People don't call me Lucky Camber for nothing.
Lucky so far, but how does Lynn Moore tie in with Nabora?
Frankly, Solo, I don't know. I've never thought of her in any way but as a girl selling lottery tickets for me.
No, somehow, I'd rather not be Miss Moore at this minute.
But you could still be a secret agent instead of an Australian who sympathizes with Japan.
Samurai swords weren't forged after 1720, a long time ago. So I won't be the first to be decapitated unjustly by this one.
Put up your sword. You profess loyalty to Japan, Miss Moore, so you should be relieved to hear that Takahari and Bach are getting rid of X9 and Ah Fang this very minute at the office of the late Dr. Harold.
If X9 and Ah Fang were here, they've gone.
Yeah, unless our men have them in the next room. Nobody's here.
How can there be two places at once? They've taken the place of the dead men in there.
Are you sure about that?
This door was open when we left. And another thing, both those bodies are in different positions.
Yeah, I think I noticed that too.
These are fire grenades. X9 now found with trouble Nabura no longer.
I wonder where they put the bodies of Herr Dr. Harold and Miley.
What does it matter? The fire will soon burn this place to the ground.
Soon, that too. If you're satisfied, so am I.
Good thing we changed our minds the last minute and hid under the bed instead of substituting for the bodies.
They've gone. Come on, let's go.
Well, nobody's following us.
What now?
The Japs have taken Shadow Island over. What can we do except to go to Papa Pierre's?
The alternative is capture. I'm for it.
We'll wait for Lynn there to bring us the news.
Neither you, Mr. Camber, nor Marker wrote this ultimatum.
Credit me with having some brains, Nabora. If I were going to send it, I would have had someone else write it. How about X9 or Ah Fang?
I was told they died at Dr. Harold's.
There were only two bodies, and Marker's men identified them as Harold and Miley.
Ah, so?
Just because the signature indicates that a man wrote it doesn't mean that a woman couldn't have.
Miss Moore, come here, please.
Yes, Nabura.
This signature. If it had been your handwriting, I would have been surprised.
So should I. But nobody should be above suspicion.
I am literally writing myself off your list of suspects, Nabora.
Broadcasts from the submarine, Miss Moore, will be postponed for about 2 weeks.
In view of the emergency, I expected as much.
Now, write the same signature with your other hand.
If I could, I wouldn't. But I can't.
That's the first time I've ever seen you write with your left hand. I've seen you write with your right.
I wouldn't overlook the fact, if I were you, that the man with the secret of 722 is your only protection.
Unless I can make a bargain with Nabura to exchange him for her guarantee of protection.
I'd rather gamble on the man with the secret before I would Nabura. I think I'd have a better chance of holding on to Shadow Island. It's still a good business.
It's too good to lose. How much?
You need a partner to keep Nabura where we want her.
You don't want much. How can you threaten her unless you can turn the secret over to the United Nations?
The secret will be in the hands of somebody a long way from Shadow Island very soon now.
You'll have to prove that to Nabura.
Leave that to me. A deed or something you've got to make out?
All right. All right. You own half of Shadow Island.
So Nabura decided she could still trust me. Then I found out about Solo. But getting here hasn't been easy. There are Jap sailors everywhere.
We all know that Solo's right-handed. The fact that he used his left when he wrote that sample for Nabura certainly makes it look as if he's the man with the secret.
Yes, it would seem to be more than coincidence. You are sure that Camber noticed, too?
Absolutely. I'll question Solo when I can, but I'll do it when Lucky and Nabura aren't around.
Yes, it's very important that we find out just where he stands. If he's really for us, he ought to be willing to turn that secret over to us.
Papa. Voici.
You know, Mama, if we live long enough, Shadow Island will be a pretty decent place, no?
Oh, wherever you are, it is decent. You should know that by now, Papa. That's the reason why I am here.
Ah, so the reason? Oh, she's the best you can have. The question, Monsieur Solo, is no longer needed. This he has written to you about 722.
722?
You see, Monsieur Corrigan, Papa and Mama Pierre, we work with Monsieur Solo.
Is Solo an agent?
British.
Here, let me read this to you. When Terry Haney, your predecessor here, X9, was murdered by Nabura, I knew he had left papers. I've been searching for them ever since, but only got them just before the showdown last night. Now, if that isn't justice, I don't know what is. I wrote that ultimatum to Nabura to save you, X9, and our Fong, not anticipating that Nabura was in the position to take over the island and block all communications. To make matters worse, I can't move owing to Lucky Camber knowing that I possess the secret. You were right, he did know about Solo. I must make him think I'm only interested in cash, but I'm sure that you have some way to communicate secretly with Australia.
He tells us about Lynn without implicating her.
722 is the number to an unsuccessful experiment in explosives that was conducted at Landfield University by Professor Albert Raymond. The Japs accidentally discovered that a sample of it made perfect aviation gasoline when mixed with distilled water. The only record of the formula is in Raymond's office file, and Raymond has no idea of its value. The American on the film is Professor Raymond. And the men that Dr. Hill operated on had their faces changed to look like the professor.
And that's why the Japs used Shadow Island, where there's a supply of Occidental criminals willing to try anything.
Smuggle a man best able to impersonate the professor into the United States. Have him copy the formula so that nothing is missing. It would be the wiser. What an idea!
We were smart enough to keep the facial surgery at a minimum, obtaining an approximate double. Just as I thought. The patient has healed in these 2 weeks.
Yeah. And these little scars ought to have disappeared by the time either man reaches America.
Well, Professor Raymond, how is 722?
Still the best formula in my office files. I'll give you a copy of it one of these days.
A day that will make you wealthy, and Japan invincible. Of course, Germany invincible also. Now, Duke, let us see how well you have turned out.
I have just received an important radio message from the submarine.
Wait here, please. We had better talk about this in your cabin.
Gewiss. Captain Korakaga has relayed a message to us, sent to him by military intelligence, Tokyo.
Ah, so. About Lynn Moore, is it not?
Yeah. Military intelligence, code section, has finally determined there is a code in her broadcast.
Himmel, it is a traitor after all.
No, Groot. Merely an Australian agent, cleverly posing as a Quisling. I have suspected it, as you know, for some time.
But doesn't matter which. She's undoubtedly working with our foreman X9. That's why they're lying low, nicht wahr? She must die, und schnell, so schnell as möglich.
What can she tell X9? She cannot suspect that we know, and she has been ordered to broadcast tonight, the first since I took over the island.
But surely now you will not let her.
Suppose the man with the secret knows about her. She will try to send it out. Why not make certain?
Yeah, that is smart. Let her go to the Untersee boat, take the broadcast away from her, examine it, and done.
Get rid of her through the torpedo tube, as we have planned before. Yogo, radio Captain Korakaga. We must make certain she does not elude us.
Yes, please.
Ah, so. Takahari, listen carefully, then explain to Bach. He can assist you.
Bach is here now. We have found no signs of X9 or off-bomb, and Miss Moore has done nothing suspicious.
But she is an Australian agent, according to military intelligence, code section, Tokyo.
Yes? Yes, Nabuda. At once. Lynn Moore is an Australian agent.
Australian agent?
Yes, she should be on her way to the speedboat now to go to the submarine. Lynn Moore has made her last broadcast for Japan.
Oh, what a break. Our only chance to get the secret of 722 off the island. To say nothing of poor Lynn.
42 weeks we wait, and what is it that we hear? It is nothing. But now, we listen and shoot the end of the world.
End of the world or not, we've got to save Lynn.
If it's the last thing we do.
I half expected Nabura to have somebody watching that car.
It doesn't look like it.
No, but we can't be too careful now.
The quarter wants to see you.
Get out of here quick, Bill. I'd like to get to Lynn. All right.
I've always wanted to visit the submarine, to hear you broadcast. But something always comes up to prevent it.
Yeah. And now Nabura thinks you should be guarded.
Conning tower reports, sir. Speedboat not yet in sight.
He should be sighted any minute now. As soon as Miss Moore comes on board, bring her down.
Aye, sir.
There's the submarine.
Korakaga is very dependable. funny. Takahari and Bach were coming on board to watch me broadcast.
Lynn! Lynn!
Stay where you are. Put your hands up. Get over there.
Jump in, Lynn. I've got him covered.
Escaped, sir, in a speedboat. It came out after her.
Gun crew to station. Point blank range. Fire when ready, and it will.
So I figured my only chance was to get to you before you went below.
I half suspected something on the way out, so I wasn't caught off guard.
Good girl. Tokyo worked out your code in the broadcast. You're not kidding. That's a 3-inch shell they're firing at us.
Perfect bracket. Fire center.
Looks bad, Lynn. They've got us bracketed. And when that happens, it doesn't take long before they get a bullseye.
I know, but they haven't hit us yet.
Did you get there in time? I don't know. I helped Phil get past Nabura's guards, and he drove off for the speedboat landing.
Oh, c'est alors. Then Nabura knows that Mademoiselle Moore, she is an agent for Australia, and not a prisoner for Japan.
Oui. And if the mademoiselle reaches the submarine before Monsieur Corrigan overtakes her, c'est fini.
Oh, la 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 la.
Radio Nabura on the law line. X9 took Miss Moore from us in another speedboat. But our deck gun has the range.
Where did that speedboat come from? How do I know? Something's wrong.
As if we didn't have enough trouble already, here come Takahari and Bach.
Oh, we're not kidding. That's a 3-inch shell they're firing at us.
Perfect bracket. Fire center.
Looks bad, Lynn. They've got us bracketed. And when that happens, it doesn't take long before they get a bullseye.
I know, but they haven't hit us yet. Let's go look.
What do you know? Bach and Takahari walked into the one labeled for us.
Lucky for you, the man with the secret threatened to tell the United Nations about 722 if Nabura didn't leave you alone.
So Nabura moved the Navy in, but she's leaving me alone. People don't call me Lucky Camber for nothing.
The one real chance to get the secret of 722 to Australia was lost when Nabura found out about me.
She was bound to find out sooner or later, Lynn.
Well, broadcasting as a quizzling for Japan, and
Putting your own code into your talks just couldn't go on undetected forever.
We and now Nabura has Shadow Island cut off from all communications.
All except one. The radio and the Lorelei.
You can't get to it. You'd be signing your death warrants trying it.
Well, we've got to get through to Australia. Professor Raymond doesn't know that his unsuccessful explosive, Formula 722, makes perfect aviation gasoline when mixed with distilled water. And he's got to be told its value.
Moreover, Nabura has doubles for Raymond, who have been trained to impersonate him. And they may be on their way now to the United States.
Just the same, no risk is smart when you don't stand a chance.
You can't be smart when you're cornered, Lynn. We've got to try the radio and the Lorelei. There's no other way.
Well, if it ain't X9, then I've won. Lucky Campbell wants you, boys.
Nabura on Lorelei, Shadow Island, standing by. Waiting for report, Plan 8.
I have relayed your orders to operations. Operations following Plan 8 as you advised. 0 minute will be when target is sighted. Signing off.
Lorelei, signing off. It is too bad Bach was killed, because you'll have to do his job for him now. Go to the internment camp, lose no time. The planes will be over here soon.
I have burned all the films for Raymond. Gar and Duke are waiting.
Sehr gut.
Everything is arranged. Get steam up. As soon as Takahari returns with your men from the internment camp, sail.
Yeah.
Gar, you are to leave with me at once on the submarine. You know what you are to do.
Sure. I think I could fool Raymond's mother if I had to.
With such confidence, I am certain you will succeed. It is regrettable, Duke, that you do not look enough like Raymond, even to be a good alternate for Gar.
Well, I could have told you that. Once I got a glimpse of my new face in the mirror.
Unfortunately, there will be nobody alive on Shadow Island to tell the secret after I leave with Gar. That should convince you, Gar, not only that everything depends on you, but equally that there is no excuse for failure or treachery.
You're not telling me anything I didn't already know. I'm getting into Lanfield University and copying the formula for 722 from the files in Raymond's office, just as I've been trained.
I'll take that gun. Come along.
You haven't been to the House of Shadows for a long time. I think we will be taken there now as Mr. Camber's guests.
Shadow Island away from me, Nabura, isn't as easy as you thought. Everything under control?
Everything. As soon as my men turn these beauties over to me, I have them take Nabura sailors down to the internment camp.
That takes care of the Japs and the Nazis. Now, how about the Lorelei?
I've got some of my men hanging around there. And while they're doing it, they'll put her out of commission.
Just watch my visitors. I want to talk to Solo.
You Camber, that paper you're keeping for me.
Well, how does it feel being the man with the secret now? You're still one up on me, you know. You know what 722 is all about, and I don't.
But you no longer need my knowledge to keep Nabura in line.
That's why I'm burning the deed. You aren't worth half the island.
It's still useful to check Nabura's answers to the questions you're going to ask her.
You know, Solo, if I ever do take a partner, You're it. I don't know who he is, but I'm willing to bet that he ties in with 722.
As I am in no position to gamble, this man is Frank Garr.
Frank Garr's been paying me protection money for 2 years. He doesn't look like him.
Plastic surgery altered his base. He has been made to resemble a man in the United States. Is that right?
I am Frank Garr, Lucky.
Well, I'll admit you do sound like him. Now, what's this all about?
X9 and Ah Fong know all about the secret. So I'm willing to tell it to you, provided you will set a price on my leaving here at once with Garr.
She wouldn't talk that way if she wasn't sure of herself. Camber's walking into a trap with both feet.
I'm my own boss again. I'm going to stay boss. I'm not making any deals with anybody. I want that secret.
I got to the internment camp first and released the German sailors.
So I see. You also released our men?
Yes, on the way here, we intercepted them coming to the camp with Camber's guards.
And the Lorelei?
I took it over, saw what happened, and hurried here.
Excellent. Shoot them.
Not so fast, Nabora.
Ah, so. The man with the secret. And how many do you think you can shoot before you are killed?
That's why I've got it over you. All I need do is to kill Garr. Your whole plan to get 722 depends on him.
What do you want?
You know why I'm doing this, X9. Now get out of here and don't argue. You too, Ah Fong.
Okay, come on, Ah Fong.
Let him have his moment of triumph. There will be no one alive on Shadow Island by sunrise. Takahari, you and Garr are coming with me. Have the men from the submarine return to it at once.
What are you doing down here?
Takahari had a sailor destroy the records in the Brewer's office. Papa Pierre and I heard him talking by the telephone to the Lorelei.
Oh, what's up now?
We learned that you were captured, and Takahari, Nabura, and Garr are leaving now by the submarine.
So you came down here figuring you'd try to get to the radio, huh?
Yeah.
Good girl, then.
I figured I was the only one left.
That's marvelous, Ah Fong. If you can fool Lynn like that, we've got a good chance with the guard.
You certainly have.
There's a Jap sailor back there, bound and gagged. See if he doesn't get away. I'll be back for you later.
Good luck, boys.
My prisoner is X9.
Yeah?
Nabura's orders are to bring him aboard.
Yeah. We'll be delayed meeting the submarine. There's engine repairs.
So,
Now that you and my men have arrived, are others coming?
No.
And we will submerge.
Correction, please. We shall wait to make sure the planes come over. Too many people on Shadow Island know of our secret.
There it is. Now, if I hadn't put this radio out of commission, we'd be all right. It works. Planes. Yeah. Japanese bombers. Yeah. Been coming in over the island.
Zero minute. Bombs away.
Now I know why Nabura let Solo get away with it. She figured nobody in the island had a chance. I pulled a gag on the Japs once before that worked. Maybe we can trick them into sinking their own sub.
Let's look through these code books.
You may submerge now, Captain Kurakaga.
Submerge. Periscope depth.
Submerge. Level off. Periscope depth.
Hey, this is in Japanese. All the rest's in German.
This is what you want. Nabura's order for the planes. Plan 8.
Swell. Play Takahari again.
With pleasure. But what wavelength? The one it's set at. Nabura couldn't have sent that order very long ago.
Calling Flight Commander, bombing squadron, over Shadow Island.
Shadow Island is calling you, sir.
The lower line, calling Flight Commander, bombing squadron, over Shadow Island. Come in, please.
Answer him. Flight Commander's plane. Go ahead, please.
Necessary to change Plan 8.
Who are you?
Takahari, please. Speaking for Nabura. Important new development. X9 escaping an Australian submarine with secret of 722. Submarine must be sunk. Acknowledge, please.
That must be the submarine we saw on the surface as we approached the island. Tell him we will take care of it.
Submarine will be taken care of. We know its approximate location. That's all.
Nice going, Afong. And now while the Nips are taking care of their own submarine and Nabura, we'll radio the secret of 722 to Australia.
Periscope wake below, sir.
Squadron attention. Submarine below. Release bombs when on target.
We're being bombed. Lie low until they get word to us.
We certainly don't have to worry about the German sailors hunting for us. Are they confused?
All the Japs are gone, but not quite to where Nabura expected.
Voila! The orders for us! The Australian submarine! She is coming for us, tout sweet!
On away!
That's what I've been waiting for. What about Solo?
Oh, do not worry about him. He will be with us in time to go.
He's almost as big as loafer as you are, Papa.